Welcome to Fantasy Audiobook, Survival in the Magic Sea. I have a god-level talent. Chapter 61. Su Mu decided to go directly to the island where the enchanting table was located. The situation is unknown now, and according to the system, the storm will destroy the island. It would be a great loss to him if that island were destroyed. The wind started to blow. Su Mu was driving the ark, and felt the slight shaking of the hull for the first time. Chi Yu sat on the bed and hugged Alice with a worried expression on her face. What will happen to this storm? As the island approached, Su Mu asked Ying Zhong to go to investigate. Soon, Ying Zhong left with the mechanical eyes and came back after going around the island for a week. Open the mechanical eye and release the holographic projection. The island is very large and circular, with a diameter of about 5 kilometers. There are 9 pillars in the middle, and the pillars seem to be suppressing something. There are trees on the island, there are materials and auspiciousness, there are a lot of things in it, and it needs to be cleaned up a little bit. There are monsters in the forest, they are wolves, more than 30 wolves, led by a wolf. There is also a fierce tiger. The tiger is very powerful. Except for you, no one else can fight it, and neither can Yingzhong. There are still things in the dark. This is a small copy, right? This island is definitely not something people can set foot on now. The wolves are soldiers, and the Wolf King is the first boss. After that is the tiger. What will be the final boss? Looking at the holographic projection, there is a ruin in the middle of the island, with several walls, and there is darkness between the walls. Undead, or dark creatures. Suddenly, World Channel exploded. My name is Zhao Wolf. That's right, I have a team card. I want to form a team. But only the strong are worthy of joining my team. Boss Su, are you coming? Zhao Wu Level also sent a team card message. A fetish can drop someone and pull you down, regardless of the distance. Hiss. Brother, I want to take my wife by my side, will you sell it? I'll sell the perfect weapon. There is a perfect weapon upstairs, boss. Yeah, I don't know how you compare with Mr. Su. Then there's no need to compare. Boss Su is the ruthless person who made Mahai make an announcement. At least before we get that professional authority, it can't be compared. By the time we get the authority, he will have gone to heaven. That's right, the possessor of Chi Yu's celestial talent is also Boss Su. This person is actually qualified to touch Boss Sisu, and he is also amazing. Su Mu shook his head and sent his team card to the World Channel. What you have, I have, and you are right, only the strong are worthy to form a team with me. Slap in the face naked. Su Mu looked at the World Channel and sighed. There were 6 billion people on the earth in the previous life, and now even if half of them died, there are still 3 billion people. There are always a few lucky guys who find good things. Zhao Wu Level's face was blue and purple, but he didn't dare to say anything. Earlier, his uncle Zhao Tuo said that Boss Su had hacked 4 monsters, and those monsters were called ogres, and they beat ordinary people as if they were playing for fun. And according to the situation at the scene, one of them was chopped into more than 20 pieces, and the flesh and blood on the wound was fully cooked, obviously using special force. He just wanted to recruit this kind of boss, and he didn't dare to offend him. I've been slapped in the face. Boss Su, my name is Jian Chengfei. I have a talent of sword spirit at the spiritual level, and I can fight very well. Are you looking for a younger brother? Hiss, is it such a dick upstairs? But it should be out of the question. At this time, those who can't fight are almost dead. Even if they can't fight, they have other special skills. Su Mu's explosion really exploded a lot of things, and more than 100 spiritual talents appeared. I have my own ideas, and I don't want to recruit younger brothers now. Others can only give up helplessly. Suddenly news came from the group. William Locke, is Su a team? I'm super sweet. Qin Fangfang, Boss Su, do you want to form a team? I can do anything. William Locke's idea is that she is a woman and needs someone to rely on, and Su Mu is undoubtedly the thickest thigh. Qin Fangfang was frightened by Jingtian, and summoned a Bili whale to rescue him. Mr. Su undoubtedly said, if you don't submit to me, I will kill you. Su Mu pondered for a while. This matter can be considered, and he has a god-level 6th sense, can perceive all dangers, so he doesn't have to worry about being sentenced. People are social animals, you will definitely not go alone in the future. These two people are good-natured, you can consider it. Moreover, the ark in the future is getting bigger and bigger, and the things inside need to be taken care of. You can't do everything by yourself, it will waste time exploring the island. Exploration is the most important thing. Tell me about your abilities. William Locke was overjoyed, and quickly said, I am an immortal magician, an auxiliary class that has a 30% quality bonus for prop manufacturing, and I can hypnotize monsters. It seems to be a strong talent, why isn't it mine? Su Mu was a little skeptical, is this really a fairy product? It's okay, but it's useless, the sixth sense crushes everything, let you show off, I will break it by myself. It's fine to fight by yourself, Chi-Yu to heal, and the shooter, a support, and a treasure hunt. My talent is spiritual level, blueprint dependence, there is a 50% chance of opening a treasure chest to find blueprints, and 10% to open double blueprints. Su Mu is speechless, why does this talent feel stronger than William Locke's? No, these two people are very talented, so why did Chi-Yu do it so often? Chi-Yu felt Su Mu's gaze and looked aggrieved. My talent is more lucky, but your luck is better than mine, what can I do? Ah, Su Mu opened his mouth, he can't say that he has a second god-level talent, supreme luck, that would scare people. Chi-Yu pouted, unwillingly explaining to herself, I think it's because of my body, I feel that my talent has not been fully utilized yet. Su Mu shook her head, food is food, don't explain. Receiving people now will save a lot of trouble in the future. Can. Su Mu took out the team card. Consumption. Low-level team card 1. Create a team 1. Please name your team. Extreme Miracle. Congratulations on creating the team, Supreme Miracle. Magic Sea Survival with Companions, I wish you are not alone. Acquisition of Team Authority. You can integrate all team members' arcs into the captain's arc, increasing the space of the arc. Temporary Permission. You can teleport teammates to your location, and it will expire after 1 hour. Get ready, take the arc, I'm going to pull you to me. Countdown, 5, 4, 3. William Locke and the two quickly closed the arc and fell into the sea. 2, 1. In the next second, 2 light clusters appeared, and the light clusters dissipated, and 2 beauties came out. One was 1.68 meters tall and was wearing a school uniform. The school uniform was a bit dirty, but it looked like it had been washed. Shoulder-length short hair, wearing glasses, looks like a student. Hello, my name is Qin Fangfang. Qin Fangfang looked at the handsome guy about 24 years old and waved. Su Mu turned her head to see another one, wearing a tight black leather jacket, like a knight. He is about 20 years old, seems to be of mixed Chinese and Western race, looks like an angel, with purple eyes and long pale blonde hair. Hi, William Locke greeted timidly. Boss Su, she actually met Boss Su alive, do you want to take a group photo first, and then ask for an autograph? Selling it should be able to exchange 2 pieces of wood. The sixth sense was fully activated, and Su Mu didn't feel any malice. At least for a short time, these two people will not betray themselves. Hello, my name is Su Mu. Su Mu pointed at Chi-Yu, she is Chi-Yu. Introduce yourself, too. Glasses girl Qin Fangfang said with some stage fright, my name is Qin Fangfang, and I majored in oceanography. But the major in the past was not very useful in the Magic Sea. My talent is blueprint dependent, which is great for opening blueprints. Quote. After Qin Fangfang finished speaking, William Locke continued. My name is William Locke, from the old William family. As for why I didn't look for my people, it's because I hate them. My talent as magician, can hypnotize enemies, throw cards, can chop wood. I like magic very much, and my favorite thing is when I am fighting a monster, I drop a gadget to take the life of the monster. Quote. They didn't lie. Qin Fangfang is a little shy and introverted. William Locke is cheerful and extroverted, and he deserves to be a liberal Western nation. They don't have any thoughts, they are very simple. You can communicate with confidence. Tell me what you have. Qin Fangfang blushed, and took out a stack of drawings. Su Mu took it over and took a look. It was an excellent grade iron pan, an excellent grade shovel, an excellent grade kitchen knife, and an excellent grade stove, and many more. There is also a design drawing of a perfect level spear, and a design drawing of an excellent level hoverboard. I still have 1,000 milliliters of water, some materials, an excellent water purifier, some meat, and 4 flame enchanting books. Su Mu's eyelids twitched slightly. Rich woman, this girl is a rich woman. William looked at and rubbed his hair in embarrassment. I still have some food, some water, a perfect water purifier, 4 speed enchanting books, and 2 ice enchanting books. There is also a set of perfect level weapon cards and a set of perfect level knight suits. Su Mu looked at William Locke differently. It is amazing that one person can find a complete set of equipment. Even he has only 1 scale armor and 1 boot, and they are all of good quality. Then let me tell you about me. Forget it, Chi Yu, take them to visit the Ark, and I'll take care of something. Su Mu got up and walked out of the Ark. This was not an excuse. The sixth sense did have a bad feeling. Enemies are approaching. Standing on the deck, Su Mu looked at the sea. The sky was covered with dark clouds, and both the sky and the sea turned black. On the sea, a huge phantom is approaching. Human form, about 3 meters tall, wearing a black shirt. Hehe, send the equipment. System prompt. Phantom Battle Spirit, a rare monster that occasionally appears in the Sea of Magic disasters. You can get an armor set 1 when you kill it. You can come to whatever you really want. Su Mu took out the elemental hand crossbow. Frostbolt. The light blue arrow exploded on the black shadow, and a guy in black fell out. The Phantom War Spirit let out a roar. Dark creature, ice attribute resistance. Fear of light attribute attacks, fire attacks. The Phantom War Spirit jumped out of the sea, rushed to the top of the Ark, and attacked Su Mu. Eagle Sauce fell from the sky and crashed it directly into the sea. Su Mu took this opportunity to change arrows. Flame arrow. The scarlet arrow shot into the battle spirit's body, which immediately began to burn. Ah! Phantom War Spirit screamed and fled into the sea. Phantom War Spirit, an assassin, good at assassination. Darkness will become his cover, be careful of movements in the dark. Behind him, summon a lightsaber and cut it down. Su Mu turned his head and a lightsaber appeared in his hand, and he slashed down heavily. The latter was split in half directly. The corpse of the Phantom War Spirit turned into smoke and dispersed, leaving a golden treasure chest in place. The 3 of Chi Yu stood at the entrance of the Ark's roof, watching all this quietly. Ah, his luck has always been so good. Chi Yu shrugged helplessly. The other 2 nodded. They were really shocked when they saw the large plant on the 2nd floor for the first time. There are also 2 pets, Eagle Sauce and Alice. In this situation where the per capita survival is difficult, there is no water and no food, creating a botanical garden has proved Su Mu's ability, and raising 2 pets, which can no longer be described in words. We're right with the wrong guy, aren't we? William Locke gave an angelic smile. Open the treasure chest. The treasure chest was dark. Su Mu stretched out her hand and grabbed out a set of clothes. A silver dragon is sculpted on the black windbreaker. Black trousers with metal inlaid white moire at the hem. The overall look is thin, with an iron-blooded military style. Obtain. Excellent Phantom Military Uniform 1. Phantom Military Uniform. The standard military uniform from the Phantom War Spirit clan has excellent defensive power and can grant the owner the ability to be invisible. William Locke pursed his mouth. Excellence, I'm sore. He is like this, you have to let go. Chi Yu persuaded in a good voice. Su Mu looked up at the sky. There were still 3 hours before the storm came. We have to take this island as soon as possible, and we have to get a batch of perfect soil back. There is also a milk fruit tree in the Su Mu space ring, and the milk fruit tree can only be planted on the perfect level soil. Okay, the invaders have been taken down, now let's attack the island above together. Take out the mechanical eye and release the hologram to let the 3 women understand the situation of the island ahead. Let's name it Enchanted Island first. There are things I want on it. You 3, Jiaying Sauce, Alice to deal with wolves, I will deal with tigers, and the monsters in the middle. What, do you have confidence? Su Mu looked at the 3 of them in military uniform, like a great general. In fact, pulling the 2 of them over so early was also a little bit of a thought to find a helper. The 3 of William Locke looked at the whole picture of the island and discussed for a while. William Locke nodded. Yes, but we need firepower assistance. At least, Sister Qin Fangfang needs a perfect weapon. Su Mu handed over the elemental crossbow. Let me borrow this from you first. Use use arrows for the arrows. Don't use infinity, otherwise you will be exhausted before the fight begins. Hiss. Epic. Su Mu ignored the fuss of the three, returned to the ark, and fed a piece of meat to the emerald god tortoise. Take out a straw and introduce the etheric liquid from the rockery into a bottle of mineral water. Not much, just one bite, but enough to save lives at critical times. Let's go. End the battle within 2 hours. Su Mu first set foot on the enchanted island. Chi Yu took a bow and aimed at the wolves in the distance. There were 34 wolves in total, and one of them had an extraordinary aura, which was not easy to provoke. Eagle sauce, sky interference. A howling eagle broke the tranquility of the wolves. Yingzhong flew at a super low altitude, and the wolves exploded in an instant. The Wolf King looked up at the sky, only then did Su Mu realize that there was a mysterious magic pattern on the wolf's stomach. The last time I saw it was on that eagle. Su Mu looked not far away. There was a fierce tiger lying there, and this one was stronger. The tiger had already sensed the abnormality. Its body glowed with gold, its muscles bulged, and its claws drew 4 deep grooves on the rock. The eyes are red, and the body is slightly prostrate, all of which are declaring, "Friend, you have come to the wrong place." Su Mu held the Tang Dao in his hand, stepped on his foot, and rushed forward like a cannonball. Roar. The roar of the tiger shakes the world. The tiger jumped up, stretched out a tiger claw and collided with Tang Dao. Sparks burst out. Steel Sky Tiger. Body of steel, extremely strong defense. The blade scratched across the tiger's skin, making a piercing sound. Kanglong chant. Su Mu slapped the tiger's claws that were rushing towards him, and a terrifying shock force erupted. The tiger's fur danced wildly as if blown by a hurricane. The Kanglong yin has been weakened. Retreat. The first confrontation, both Fang Ping hands. High attack and high defense are indeed hard nuts to crack. The sixth sense perceives everything, and Su Mu observes every subtle movement of the tiger. In a daze, Su Mu seemed to have seen all the attacking methods of the tiger. The sixth sense is stronger. Replacing the light blade in battle will teach it a painful lesson. Su Mu jumped up again, and the tiger followed suit, and the two sides clashed again. Fighting 3 times, Su Mu's arms were numb. This guy's strength is not ordinary. The corner of the tiger's mouth revealed a sinister smile. It saw Su Mu's situation. The two sides jumped up again, and the tiger roared triumphantly. This time, it will surely knock the enemy down. Su Mu let go of his hand, Tang Dao fell to the ground, and a crimson light blade appeared in the palm of his hand. The tiger was dumbfounded, his eyes were full of horror. This knife is extraordinary. But it was too late to hide. Ah! With a wave of Su Mu's lightsaber, the fiery light blade cut into the tiger's shoulder without any hindrance, and removed one of its claws. Ah! Ah! The tiger backed away while screaming, with despair that could not be concealed in his eyes. Su Mu sneered. Sure enough, the physical defense is full, and the magic defense is 0. Losing one of its claws, the tiger is obviously no match for Su Mu. Su Mu rushed forward with a grinning grin. The tiger wanted to run, but it couldn't run fast with 3 legs. Su Mu was overtaken in a blink of an eye, and a tiger's head was chopped off with 3 swipes of his saber. Obtain. Perfect tiger bone 10. Obtain. Perfect tiger meat * 10. Obtain. Perfect grade tiger skin 1. Huh, it's really strange that the tiger skin can be reassembled after being chopped off. Su Mu looked at the positions of the 3 women. Chi Yu climbed up a tree, held a bow and arrow, aimed at the Wolf King, and the arrow shot into the body from behind the Wolf King. Pain, despair, helplessness, and a touch of sourness immediately filled the Wolf King's heart. Ah! The pack of wolves clamped their tails together. The boss was injured, and the wolves immediately rushed under Chi Yu's tree, opened their wolf mouths and gnawed at the tree. After a while, the tree was gnawed out and crumbling. Suddenly, another arrow flew from a distance and plunged into another wolf's body from behind. Ah! Chi chi chi! The unlucky wolf lay on the ground directly, losing its fighting power. It was Qin Fangfang sitting on another tree who launched the attack. The wolves went crazy. They looked at Qin Fangfang collectively. Their eyes were full of anger that was not enough to cover up. The next second, the wolves attacked Qin Fangfang again, and Chi Yu took this opportunity to run down and change a tree. William Locke flicked his wrist, and a metal card flew out, cutting off the wolf's claws like a flying knife. The pack of wolves went crazy and ran around, but the Wolf King was severely injured and had no way to command him, so he could only watch his subordinates being killed. In the sky, there are eagle saucers watching, and on the ground, there are 3 women tossing back and forth. In this way, the number of wolves gradually decreased. Su Mu turned around. To be honest, he sympathized with the Wolf King very much. It was too miserable, a strong man, he could not lose to Yingzhong in a frontal battle, but he suffered that kind of attack in front of his little brother at the beginning, lost face, and still lost fighting power. How can it be a miserable word? There is a dark area in front of you. Su Mu took out the torch, lit a piece of wood and threw it in. The corner of the darkness was illuminated, and a hideous statue revealed its face. Its body resembles that of a 5-year-old child, extremely skinny, with a pair of black bat wings behind it. Discovery. Gargoyle. Aware of the flow of dark breath, there may be dark props in the center of the island. Su Mu lit more wood and threw it into the darkness, and the things hidden in the darkness revealed their faces. It is a splendid building, an ancient temple, which has collapsed and only a few stone pillars remain. At the entrance of the temple, there are 4 gargoyles with mysterious magic lines on their bodies. Gargoyle has extremely strong physical defense and ignores magic attacks below level 5. Su Mu picked up the tang knife and walked forward slowly. When he was 10 meters away from the first gargoyle, the gargoyles slowly opened their eyes. The emerald green eyes shone with a piercing light. A monster appears behind you. Su Mu turned around and slashed. The blade slashed on a strange face. A gargoyle screamed and plunged into the darkness. Gargoyle, more than 4. At 3 o'clock, there are enemies coming. Su Mu threw the tang dao directly, and there was a crackling sound of stone breaking. A stone head rolled over. 9, 1 died, and there are 8 left. No, there is a big one. The ground shattered, and a guy with a height of 10 meters drilled out of the ground. Human, this is not the place for you, get out. The Gargoyle Lord is very powerful, and his mouth is a threat, not a direct attack, which proves that he is afraid. It's okay to let me go, hand over the enchanting table. The Gargoyle Lord pulled out a 30-meter high stone pillar and waved it twice in his hand. Small bug, are you also worthy of my conditions? Ouch, people with smelly mouths must die. Su Mu took a deep breath, and the light flashed on her body. The magic armor is coming. Su Mu jumped up with a lightsaber in his hand, and slashed the Gargoyle Lord's shoulder with his sword. One arm was removed. In the next second, countless granulation sprouts grew out of the broken arm of the gargoyle, and in 10 seconds, a brand new arm grew out. The Gargoyle Lord has self-healing ability, and can be killed by piercing the heart and cutting off the head. The defense of these 2 pieces must be very strong, requiring special skills. You pissed me off, little bugger. The Gargoyle Lord clawed at Su Mu. Su Mu dodged the blow, stepped on the Gargoyle Lord's knee, leapt into the sky, the lightsaber slashed on the head of the stone, and burst into flames. As expected of a high defense monster. Boom. An iron fist struck from the sky, smashing Su Mu into the ground. It looks very strong, but the actual damage is 0. Bug, die. Poorly low attack. The weakness is the heart, the attack needs to penetrate the heart from the abdomen. Su Mu broke through the dust, and the light blade in his hand pierced the Gargoyle Lord's abdomen from bottom to top, all the way up to the heart. How do you know my weakness? The Gargoyle Lord had an incredulous expression on his face, but his vitality had already left him, and he had no choice but to fall down, turning into a huge boulder. Su Mu's figure flashed, and there were more than a dozen afterimages around him, and a sword net was cut out with the lightsaber in his hand. The little gargoyle was powerless to resist and was cut into pieces. At the end of the battle, Su Mu loosened his armor, took out the ether knight and poured it into his mouth. The soul power consumed in the battle began to recover, and his spirit returned to its peak. Discovery. Ancient ruins. System prompt. It is possible to find the alchemy creation enchanting table left over from the ancient times in the ancient ruins. The enchanting table can enchant books, but each ruin is guarded by powerful ruin guardians. Su Mu stepped forward and disassembled the corpse of the Gargoyle Lord. Obtain. Beast Core 1. Obtain. Self-Healing Enchanted Book 1. Obtain. Essence of Magic Immunity 1. Enchanting yourself. Consumption. Beast Core 1, Self-Healing Enchanted Book 1. Skill acquired. Self-Healing. Self-Healing. Consume chi and blood to recover from injuries. The bigger the wound, the more chi and blood it consumes. Nice skill, but a bit blood-consuming. Su Mu fixed her gaze on the second item. Magic Immunity Essence. A special material that can be added to any item except life, adding the power to resist magic to the item. Su Mu began to decompose other gargoyles, and finally harvested Beast Core 9, Magic Immunity Essence 9. After tidying up the battlefield and picking up Tang Dao, Su Mu came to the ruins. Someone is ambushing. Su Mu picked up a few pieces of wood and lit them, throwing them into the ruins. What? In the center of the ruins stood a large robot, about 10 meters high, with a burly figure. It's kind of like a transformer, it's covered in rust, and it's rotten in places. Mysterious Guardian, don't underestimate him just because he is corrupt. Hello, human. The Guardian raised his long sword. I'm sorry, I can't let you in due to my duty. Su Mu saluted the Guardian. I'm sorry, but if I want to live, I have to get what's inside. The Guardian tilted his head and staggered forward. Clang. Tang Dao collided with the 5-meter-long sword. You, no more. The Guardian cut again. Yeah, I can't do it anymore, I'm old. The Guardian is mentally abnormal and seems to want to die. The magic armor is coming. Su Mu holds a lightsaber in his left hand and a tang knife in his right, both swords coming together. A sword blocked the long sword, and a knife cut into the Guardian's chest. Ha ha. The Guardian let out a long sigh and fell down. Su Mu was speechless. This Guardian wanted to die with all his heart. The ancient Guardian, I don't know how long it has existed, death is the best relief for it. Breakdown. Obtain. Excellent Mechanical Sword 1. Obtain. Fire Fragment 1. Obtained. Perfect Level Flying Skateboard Design Drawing 1. The 5-meter-long sword turned into a 1-meter-2-long sword. Su Mu swung it twice and put it into the space ring. The sky is getting darker and darker, the storm is about to come, now is not the time to take a closer look, the most important thing is to search. Coming to the center of the relic, Su Mu saw something in the middle. This is a 50x50x40 white stone platform with a black book on it. The book was opened, and a steady stream of illusory magic lines emerged on the pages of the book. Acquire. Enchanting Table 1. Enchanting Table. Consume Beast Core 1, Book 1, Enchanting Stone 1, which can be used to enchant books with random effects. Su Mu checked with her sixth sense, and after making sure there was nothing wrong, she went back to the 3 women. At this time, the sky was completely dark. 3 women had packed the scene. A total of 272 pieces of meat, 34 pieces of beast cores, and 34 pieces of wolf skins were obtained. While speaking, William Locke and Qin Fangfang never took their eyes off Su Mu. The resources obtained in this battle are enough to feed an ordinary person for 100 days. The resources they both obtained did not add up to as much as a single battle. Is this the benefit of hugging your thighs? Su Mu nodded. I'll take the meat to the world to buy rare blueprints, preferably weapons, and sell the excellent water purifiers as well, taking up space. After speaking, Su Mu opened the ark and walked in with the 3 women. The storm is coming, a 6-level storm, the waves are not high. Su Mu just sat down and counted her gains. Su Mu came to the bottom of the cabin, where resources were piled up, and Qin Fangfang followed, quietly working as a secretary. Now there are 6 books of flame enchantment, 8 books of ice, 6 books of speed, and 2 books of light. What needs to be done now? Create 3 pairs of wind leather boots. The boots will accelerate and increase the survival rate of the 3 women. The rest is the perfect cold storage. I feel that there will be more and more meat in the future. Some herbs also need to be preserved in a special environment. Perfect double bed. Sleeping on a plank bed every day, it's a bit painful. Then there is the quiver. The perfect quiver can increase the speed of changing arrows, and it is also a very good item. Su Mu pulled out her own material. Please click. Almost every island has wood. Chi Yu collected more than 500 wood, half of which was stuffed into the water source to ensure that the water source can provide water 24 hours a day. Fine grade metal, 4 people add up to 172 yuan. Even the least fine grade silk thread is 30. What is missing now is the perfect level of material. Su Mu opened the manufacturing tab. Consumption. Animal skin 3, fine grade silk thread 3, speed enchantment book 6. Obtain. Wind boots 3. Pass 3 pairs of leather boots to Qin Fangfang. 1 person, 1 pair. Then he took out the enchanted book, metal, and constant temperature materials. The cold storage needs the ice enchanting book 10, and there are still 2 books left. Su Mu turned on the world channel and shouted directly. Excellent grade flesh and blood for 2 ice enchanting books, whoever has the right price. Soon, Su Mu paid 5 pieces of excellent flesh and blood and got 2 ice enchanting books. The price of enchanted books has started to rise. Su Mu was not surprised. It was the 6th day, and 3 hours later it would be the 7th day. Those who lived to this time had a little bit of stock left. And at this time, everyone also realized that the enchanted book is the guarantee of future survival. Weapons that are more than perfect, high-quality props, all require enchanted books to craft, and even future occupations. Consumption. Ice enchanting book 10, excellent grade metal 10, constant temperature material 10. A ray of light flickered, and at the end of the space on the 3rd floor, there was an iron wall and a door. Su Mu stepped forward to check and found that the newly added wall divided the 3rd floor into 2 halves. The area near the stairs is the common area, and the rest is the cold storage area. Among them, the total space of the 3 floors covers an area of 500 square meters, and the cold storage covers an area of 200 square meters. Refrigeration at 0 degrees, daily consumption of beast cores 3. Su Mu nodded. Now he holds 54 animal cores, 1 high-level animal core, and he is rich and powerful, and can afford to consume 3 a day. Consume beast core 3, the cold storage starts to refrigerate, and it is expected to reach 0 degrees in an hour. Su Mu fixed her gaze on the double bed. Perfect level beds require the consumption of fine metal, wood, sleeping enchanted books and tranquility enchanted books. Turn on the world channel and purchase again. It feels really good to make a big purchase. Soon, Su Mu paid 20 pieces of meat to get 4 enchanted books of sleep and 4 enchanted tranquility. Find the sleeping enchantment book, enchant yourself to get the skill, hypnosis. Hypnosis. It can make opponents whose strength is lower than your own fall into a deep sleep. Discover the enchanted book of tranquility, enchant yourself to get the skill, silence. Silence. After casting, it can interrupt the enemy's casting of magic, and cannot cast spells within 2 seconds. Su Mu turned on her 6th sense to sense and judge whether to study or not. Can be learned, but the level does not need to be too high. Magic C. Low-level monsters live in groups and cannot be used. High-level monsters are extremely resistant, and some monsters are even directly immune to magic. Su Mu took out 5 pieces of meat again to exchange for a book of sleep and a book of tranquility, consuming 2 beast cores to learn 2 skills. It is a supplementary skill pool. The actual combat significance is not great. For example, the zombies before and the gargoyles later, one does not sleep and does not use magic, and the other is directly immune to level 5 magic. These 2 skills have no effect on them at all. Consumption. Fine grade wood 16, fine grade metal 8, sleep enchanted book 4, tranquil enchanted book 4. Obtain. Perfect bed 2. The perfect bed is big enough for 2 people to roll on it. Su Mu went up to lie down for a while, a feeling of peace welled up in her heart. So comfortable. True peace in the magic sea can only be a luxury. Su Mu knew that after waking up, she had to continue to explore the island, find resources, and fight monsters to the death. Ah, Su Mu told Qin Fangfang next to her, you take some materials, make those high-quality kitchen utensils, and then make a few wooden walls to divide the 1st floor into bedrooms, kitchen, entertainment area, and exercise area. By the way, there must be a dedicated manufacturing area. Other people's arcs cost almost every inch of land and every inch of gold, dividing regions, and only Su Mu dares to be so extravagant. Open the world channel, someone is selling good things. Following the 6th sense, Su Mu turned on the world channel again. There are really people selling good things, and the things they sell are very unusual. 100 yuan of fine grade flesh and blood, or an enchanted book at the same price. If you sell a box, you will definitely not lose money if you buy it. What is this guy? Why is the box so expensive? I don't know. What? Another person also started to boo. Su Mu shook her head. This man's things are really priceless. If you can buy 100 pieces of meat, that's a big profit. I want it. When Su Mu spoke, the world was instantly quiet. 100 fine flesh and blood, I want it. Soon, Su Mu got what she wanted. Trader. Li Xuanyuan. Trading item. Box of rare treasures 3000. Requirements. Fine grade flesh and blood 100. The box of strange treasures is 3000. Tisk, this person is so stupid to sell such a heavy treasure, but unfortunately there is no key. Only then did people in the world let out an exclamation. This is 100 pieces of meat, and it's still excellent. The boss is so proud. Is that box really that good? Don't say anything, I want to sell myself. 3 meals a day of fine grade flesh and blood will do. ... Above the endless sea, stands such an island. The island is only half, and the other half was photographed into the sea level by something. A ferocious black dragon was lying on the stone pillar, and the young man tremblingly handed over 100 pieces of fine flesh and blood. This dragon resembles a Chinese dragon. Master Dragon King, this is 100 pieces of fine flesh and blood, can you let me go? Li Xuanyuan was about to cry. He had just dug into the treasure box when he was targeted by a divine dragon, which sank half of the island with a slap. Then he asked for 100 pieces of fine-grade flesh and blood. He can only sell the box he just dug up, sell the resources now, and then exchange for flesh and blood. I didn't expect that Boss Su would go straight ahead and save the rest of the trouble. Sir, you are my benefactor. Murloc poked his ear. You heard wrong, I said 200 yuan. Li Xuanyuan's expression changed drastically. He pointed at the dragon and said, don't push yourself too hard. The magic dragon smiled. I am Demon Sea, the 7th dragon domain master, with a combat power of 1 billion, well, I can set off a 30-level storm, and I don't need to move my claws to kill you. Ha 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 ha, what are you doing to me? Quote, you. Li Xuanyuan really wanted to say that 30 years in Hedong, 30 years in Hexi, don't bully the young and poor. But I was afraid of being second. God, Earth, how did you let me meet such a brazen dragon? Master Dragon King, I really have no money, why don't you kill me? The dragon looked up at the sky. 10 minutes, if you don't bring another 100 pieces of meat, I will eat your soul. No, I will eat your soul like licking a popsicle. Li Xuanyuan shuddered deeply. Reluctantly, he took out a key from his pocket. That's right, this is the key to the box of strange treasures 3000. I was still thinking about redeeming it from the boss, but looking at it now, it's impossible. Hey, just open it. The magic dragon exerted a little force, and the whole stone pillar was strangled to pieces. The magic dragon sneered. Ha ha ha, do you think this thing is so easy to open? Without supreme luck, and without supreme authority, who would dare to open this thing? Even if I open it, I still have to take a big risk, and I have to peel off my skin if I don't die. To put it bluntly, this thing looks good, but it can only be watched. Quote. Startled, Li Xuanyuan picked up the key without hesitation and chatted with Su Mu privately. Boss Su, do you want the key? 100 pieces of fine-grade flesh and blood. As soon as the box was put away, Su Mu was speechless when she received the news. What's the situation? If you have the key and sell the box, is this in danger? Or out of your mind? Yes, trade now. Of course, it must be traded. This kind of treasure cannot fall into the hands of others. Li Xuanyuan's music blossomed, and his fate was saved. As for this box, Boss Su, if you get a treasure, you have to live to enjoy it. Boss Su, don't blame me for your death. Li Xuanyuan quickly put the keys on the shelf. Soon, the transaction is over. Li Xuanyuan took out 100 pieces of fine-grade flesh and put it in front of the dragon. But he saw that the magic dragon was looking at him jokingly. Tell me 2 things. First, your talent is good, I want it, but you have this box on your body, I really dare not eat you. The blood on Li Xuanyuan's face faded instantly, and he fell to the ground like a puddle of mud. He fell for it. Second, Demon Dragon showed a weird smile. The person you traded with is called Su Mu. Our monsters also have the ability to communicate with the Demon Sea. If I remember correctly, the first person in the human race to obtain a job as the Supreme Authority owner, and there are 2 Supreme Authority, Warrior and Mage. You want him to die, that's impossible. Of course, if you want me to steal his talent and kill him by the way, that's impossible. I can't afford to mess with his talent. Quote. Murderous heart. Li Xuanyuan's heart was ashamed, as if he had turned into a puppet, sitting on the ground motionless. The dragon opened its mouth wide and swallowed Li Xuanyuan in. Tisk, fragrant. Su Mu put away the box. The thing made too much noise after it was opened, so it's important to get down to business first. Buy speed enchanted books with fine grade flesh and blood, first come, first serve. Su Mu's private chat channel is instantly covered by information stream. Soon, 2 speed enchanting books were in hand. Consumption. Perfect grade tiger skin 1, excellent grade metal 1, speed enchanted book 2. Obtain. Extreme speed quiver 1, perfect level. Su Mu picked up the quiver. It was a tiger skin quiver about half a meter long. It could be carried on the back or straddle the waist. There were 10 slots inside for storing 10 arrows. Extreme speed quiver. Increase the speed of changing arrows by 50%, it is the archer's best friend. Su Mu loaded the arrow, then took out the elemental crossbow, and put his hand into the quiver. An afterimage passed by, and the arrow bounced into the arm of the crossbow with a click. It's literally a 50% increase in speed. Su Mu put away her quiver and exhaled a foul breath. Time to eat. Chi Yu came down and called Su Mu. Chi Yu made a big table. Above the table, 4 lantern plants were hung with silk threads. Under the slightly yellowish light, there was a dreamlike feeling in the ark. Today's dinner is grilled perfect fish. Chi Yu tried his best to make the food the most delicious, but there are more people now. 4 humans plus Alice Eagle Sauce can eat 6 pieces of grilled fish in one meal. Maybe there's not enough fish, how about a good breakfast? Chi Yu was a little worried, the food rations for such a big family was a big expense. I sold the excellent ones, and I still have a few yuan left to feed the Emerald God Tortoise. The 3 women looked at each other. William Locke was new here, thinking that Su Mu was going to save food rations in order to upgrade the equipment for 4 people, so he said softly, "It doesn't matter, we can eat anything, even ordinary ones." After all, Qin Fangfang just brought up 3 pairs of special shoes, which must have cost a lot of materials. Follow me, don't always think about eating those junk. Su Mu pointed to the ground. The cold curry has 8 pieces of perfect grade tiger meat, which is tomorrow's breakfast. The 3 women didn't know what to say anymore. The flesh and blood of the elite level was called tattered. Boss Su, how proud are you? How much private goods are hidden? Boss Su, Qin Fangfang said timidly. Of the 3 women, Chi Yu is used to getting along with Su Mu, William Locke is acquainted, and Qin Fangfang still dare not look Su Mu in the eye. You don't have to call me Boss Su, that's too alien. Su Mu took out a bottle of tiger bone wine, divided it into 4 glasses, and pushed 3 glasses in front of the 3 women. In the future, we will be partners fighting together. Don't be so restrained. You can call me Su Mu, Brother Su. Of course, I don't mind if you call me husband directly. Hee, husband. William Locke licked his red lips. Honey, do you need to prove your strength? A man who is not strong enough cannot be the son-in-law of our William family. Su Mu pointed at Chi Yu strangely. You can discuss this with her. Chi Yu blushed slightly. Su Mu pressed his hand. Forget it, let's not talk about this topic for now. We will have plenty of time in the future. We still have a lot of problems. Water and food are not a problem. The difference is combat power. Single combat power. I can beat you 10, if you don't believe me, you can try it. By the way, Chi Yu, if you have the madness potion, you can also give it to them. I don't mind. Now I suppress the 3 of you, just like playing a game. The 3 women were speechless. After the shock, they were encouraged. Su Mu smiled and said, if you are weak, don't always think about fooling around. You should eat more perfect level meat, eat natural materials and earthly treasures, and improve your quality. If you don't say anything else, you can hold on to me for at least 15 minutes. No, Chi Yu rolled his eyes. With your full firepower, we will be satisfied if we can last for 30 seconds. Qin Fangfang blushed and asked softly, Su Da, is your husband so strong? Chi Yu nodded. Normal combat stats are 3 times mine, and when I turn on the transformation, my strength is 3 times higher. This is not other means. By the way, I am of Qilin blood, and my physical fitness is far beyond ordinary people. The remaining two women did not speak at all. Although Chi Yu was exaggerating the facts, the meaning was already obvious. Adding up the three together, even if the combat power was increased by 3 times, it would not be able to suppress Su Mu. After dinner, Su Mu lay on the bed to rest, and the 3 girls went to the second floor to take care of the plants. The oranges on the orange tree were almost ripe, and they could be eaten tomorrow, and the remaining medicinal materials had to wait for 2 days. This is because Su Mu made some good soil, otherwise it would take longer. Just like the 2 cherry tomatoes, the ordinary soil used will take 3 days to mature. As for water, Su Mu is no longer planning to sell water. For one thing, many people now have water purifiers. The second is that Su Mu needs a lot of water to build a botanical garden. That's right, Su Mu is already preparing to build a botanical garden when others are hungry and worried about monster attacks. It was windy and rainy outside, the wind and waves beat against the ark, and the mechanical whale rose and fell with the waves, but there was no feeling inside. Something is approaching, it's not a creature, it's a material box. As soon as Su Mu looked up, she saw through the one-way cabin that there were more than a dozen black material boxes floating in. Is this the gift of the storm? Su Mu got up, put on her clothes and went outside. The wind and rain were very strong, and the rain splashed on her body. Su Mu looked at those black supply boxes, opened the private chat interface, and soon Chi Yu and the 3 rushed out. Chi Yu sat in the driving seat, and drove the ark towards the supply boxes. There is an attack coming, the attack comes from under the sea, it is a shark. The next second, a shark broke through the water and bit Su Mu on the top of the ark. The 3 women below immediately held their breath. Qin Fangfang said discordantly with Shi Yi, "This boat can be seen directly from the first floor, but the inside cannot be seen from the outside. You can't wear swimsuits on the deck in the future." The other 2 women gave her a blank look. Su Mu pulled out the tang knife and slashed down. Under the effect of inertia, the shark was split in half. Obtain. Beast Core 1. Obtain. Shark Meat 8. Could it be that those sharks are going to do it at this moment? Su Mu opened the world channel. Sure enough, many people were attacked. Help, there are sharks. Ha ha ha, fortunately our 4 brothers formed a team. ... The storm is coming, and the sharks are making trouble. Tonight is destined to be a bumper harvest. Finally, the first supply box hit the mechanical whale's forewing. Su Mu stepped forward and grabbed the material box, which was very heavy. Fortunately, the strength of Su Mu now is no longer that of Su Mu before crossing. With a little effort, he was dragged into the ark. Take out the army shovel and pry off the sealed wood above. Obtain. Excellent grade soil 10. Excellent soil. This is a good thing, the epic milk fruit tree in the space ring can be planted. Su Mu kept the soil still on the ground, and took out the epic sapling. Qin Fangfang, Locke, you 2 help me plant this thing on the second floor. After finishing speaking, Su Mu looked at the distance, and there were still 14 material boxes left. Could it be that all of them were excellent grade soil? It is really miraculous that this soil can float on the sea. Also, don't talk about science on the magic sea. There is a problem with the wood. Disassemble the wooden box. Obtain. Floating wood perfect level *4. Floating wood. A kind of wood with mysterious power, it will not sink when it encounters water, and it can be transformed into a boat to ride the wind. Su Mu took a deep breath, he opened the production, and got a blueprint of a perfect level flying skateboard. Flying skateboard perfect level, a skateboard that consumes beast cores and allows you to fly at a low altitude of 10 meters, has miraculous effects on special terrain. A beast core can be used for half an hour. Note: traveling at home, a must-have for exploring and exploring. Production requirements: perfect level floating wood 2, excellent level rubber 1, floating enchanted book 4. It turns out to be the material for making this thing, which kills 2 birds with 1 stone. The consumption is really high. A beast core can drive the ark for 30 kilometers, but this thing can only be used for 30 minutes. I hope the speed doesn't let me down. Su Mu walked into the wind and rain and continued to wait, and soon the second material box bumped into him, and when he opened it, it was still filled with mud. A series of 10 substance boxes were all filled with mud, and there was a change in the 11th. When I opened it, it turned out to be a stone. Obtain. Enchanting Stone 8. The enchantment stone is a black stone, the size of a fist, with mysterious golden runes on it. Su Mu picked up a piece and felt it, and it was very light. The remaining 5 boxes are all enchanting stones, 40 in total. 40 enchanting stones, as long as there are blank books, that is 40 enchanting books. It's also a very good harvest. Suddenly the sixth sense came out to alarm. Something is approaching, very powerful. Su Mu looked towards the sea, and a strange guy tore through the water and jumped on him. It is a huge pee-pee shrimp. Holding the tang knife in hand, Su Mu rushed out of the ark and collided with the attacking pee-pee shrimp. Clang! Pee-pee shrimp, a super-sized variation, 10 meters long, delicious meat, hard body shell is a perfect material, and it cannot be cut by ordinary weapons. Piercing the knife into the head of pee-pee shrimp from the mouth. The magic armor is coming. With a comprehensive increase in attributes, Su Mu kicked pee-pee shrimp's claw aside with great force, and then threw the knife, which just fell into pee-pee shrimp's mouth. With a clang, the knife bounced back again. This guy has been hacked before, and there is a pair of daggers in his mouth. I don't know which unlucky person left it behind. Su Mu shook his head slightly, and caught the tang dao that bounced back. Kill it with cold air, or roast it directly with fire. Su Mu took out the elemental hand crossbow and mounted the frostbolt. The soul force gushed out crazily, shooting 3 copying arrows in succession. Water is the cold's best friend, especially on a rainy day like this. The icy blue light exploded, and half of the ark was covered by a layer of ice. Pee-pee shrimp's body was even covered with a layer of ice as thick as 10 centimeters, and one of them was just stuck in his head. The power of extreme cold enters the brain, the battle is over, and it is expected to die in 3 minutes. Pee-pee shrimp's body charged up again, making the sound of shattering ice. But the extreme cold is eroding its body. 3 minutes later, the struggle stopped. Died. Su Mu stepped forward and touched it. It was really cold, at least minus 100 degrees. Hitting it with a knife made the sound of metal clashing. Tisk, it's really frozen solid, like a block of iron. I'm wearing armor, but I can't stop the cold air. This also reminds me, don't be overwhelmed by cold air in the future. Su Mu breaks down the pee-pee shrimp. Fortunately, there is a system that can be disassembled directly, otherwise it would be a problem to unfreeze. Obtain. Perfect Flesh and Flesh 16. Acquisition. Perfect Grade Shrimp Shell 1. Obtain. Beast Core 1. Obtain. Sha Yan 1 set of excellent double daggers. The double daggers are Sha Yan, and the whole body is red. Sha Yan. Its owner was once an overlord, and later it was passed on to a rookie assassin, but unfortunately the rookie assassin lost it in a battle. Note: the red flame inside, after piercing the human body, will erupt a terrifying flame in the human body, directly burning the internal organs of the enemy, and the effect of assassination is better. Su Mu nodded, and casually sent the 2 daggers into the space ring. The storm didn't last long. At 1 o'clock in the morning, the weather was calm. Su Mu never met any good things again. The harvest is not bad. Hearing this, the 3 women rolled their eyes at the same time, not to mention anything else. That pile of excellent soil is already a huge harvest. Compared with Su Mu's big harvest here, the World Channel is full of mourning. Natural disaster: the ark was damaged by lightning. If the next island doesn't have the resources to repair the ark, then I will die. I beg you to donate some high-quality metal to repair the ark. You're okay, the wind and waves are too strong here. The ark was overturned, and most of the contents inside were lost. This natural disaster is so terrible. What should we do about the big natural disaster 3 days later? Ignoring the laments from World Channel, Su Mu went straight to sleep. The next morning, Su Mu just woke up from a dream when she smelled the faint fragrance of milk. Where does the milk smell come from? Oh, isn't that thing cooked overnight? Su Mu came to the 2nd floor. The height of the 2nd floor space is 9 meters. Among them, there is an extra-large flower pot in the middle of the 2nd floor, and a tree is planted in it. Epic Milk Fruit Tree. The milk fruit tree is about 3 meters high, the whole body looks like ice, and it is as blue as jade. The leaves on the trees are all white as snow. Su Mu turned on the daylighting system, which emits passive light, which is no different from sunlight. Shines on the milkberry tree, which glows dimly. There are several blue fruits that look like apples hanging on the tree, and the milky fragrance is transmitted from the small fruits. It's a pity that the fruit is still too small to eat. Is this the perfect milk fruit? Su Mu perceives with a sixth sense. The ripening speed is very fast, probably a batch will mature tomorrow night. Is this the power of excellent soil? It's amazing. The only pity is that the quantity is a little less. Su Mu went back to the first floor and fed a piece of meat to the emerald god tortoise. Then enter the world channel, ready to find a batch of supplies. Sell fine-grade flesh and blood, and buy floating enchanted books. It seemed that many people were affected by the disaster last night, and there was a lot of mourning inside. Many people lost their supplies in the natural disaster. Su Mu quickly gathered what he wanted. 32 fine-grade flesh and blood were spent to exchange for 16 floating enchanted books. But because of this, there are only 7 pieces of fine-level flesh and blood left on Su Mu's body. Now everyone is not short of water, but only meat, so it is very difficult to exchange water for supplies. Once again, 4 pieces of meat were exchanged for 8 pieces of fine-grade rubber. Consumption: floating wood 8, excellent grade rubber 4, levitating enchanted book 16. Obtain: flying skateboard 4. Su Mu took out a skateboard, which was actually the same as the skateboard in the previous life, but with 4 wheels missing. In its place are 4 rubber piers. Su Mu flipped the skateboard back, opened a cover similar to a battery in a toy car, and stuffed a beast core into it. System prompt: the flying skateboard is activated, and the remaining driving time is 30 minutes. The system prompts that the flying skateboard is a consumable item, and the maximum usage time is 72 hours. Is it durable? Su Mu took it to the top of the arc, stepped on the skateboard, and controlled the skateboard with will. Whoosh! Su Mu flew out at a very fast speed, which could reach 50 meters per second. The magic armor is coming, fully control it. Standing on the skateboard, the wind whizzed past her ears. The terrifying wind forced Su Mu to bend down, otherwise the resistance would be too great. My God, no wonder it consumes so much. Su Mu felt it. When the skateboard was activated, the beast core began to be consumed. Consumption stops when you're not using it. It is still economical, and no matter how fast or slow the speed is, the use time of a beast core is 30 minutes. Once it is turned on, it is in a state of full consumption. The maximum distance is 10 meters above the material surface, either land or water. The fastest speed is 50 meters per second, and it can last for 30 minutes. This prop is a perfect level, the material level is not enough, and it cannot bear the huge load generated by the flying skateboard, so there is a time limit. Not bad. When Su Mu returned to the ark, Chi-Yu had already prepared breakfast, and it was still barbecue. Although it was very fragrant, smelling the faint milky fragrance in the air, he suddenly felt that the meat had no taste. Su Mu still patiently ate the meat into his mouth. Food must be eaten after all. If you want better food, you have to explore the island hard. After breakfast, the ark came to the new island. Su Mu glanced at it. This is a strange group of islands. There are 4 islands in total, separated by a cross in the middle, as if cut off by a big sword. 1 large island and 3 small islands are more than 30 meters apart from each other. Su Mu took out 3 flying skateboards and handed 6 animal cores to the 3 women. Flying skateboard. This skateboard can fly and be controlled with thoughts. The maximum speed is 50 meters per second, the maximum height is 10 meters, and 1 beast core can be used for 30 minutes. Don't use it too fast, you can't bear the wind pressure, and pay attention to the time, don't fall. The 3 women immediately widened their eyes and stroked the flying skateboard. This is a flying prop, and the speed is still so fast, no wonder Su Mu sold all the fine-grade flesh and blood in one day. It turned out to be used to make this kind of thing. Chi-Yu said softly, Su Mu, if you sell this thing, you can exchange it for a lot of good things, right? Of course, I still have materials here. I will do it later. It is important to arm you first. The eye circles of the 3 women instantly turned red. Su Mu looked puzzled, and her sixth sense told herself not to spy on their hearts. I have to lament that women are too easily moved. Su Mu didn't know that Chi-Yu and the others put all their heart into forming a team with him. Unexpectedly, there would be benefits for joining the team. The ark was close to the largest island, and Su Mu took out a perfect life jacket for Qin Fangfang, in case she fell into the water while flying. There are 2 life jackets in total, and the other one is in Chi Yu's hands. As for William Locke, she's magician and well balanced. Okay, you 3 go to the small island, I'll go to the big one. Eagle Chan, you follow Locke in case she falls into the water and no one saves her. The 3 women stepped on the skateboard with confidence, and rushed out with their minds, like cannonballs. The speed is so fast, someone is about to fall. After flying more than 10 meters, except for William Locke, the other 2 fell directly into the water as expected. Fortunately, they had life jackets, otherwise they would have fed the fish. Before they realized something was wrong and lost their balance and fell, Chi Yu and the others put the skateboards into their respective arcs. This is a treasure, even if it is injured, it cannot be lost. In the water, the 2 took out the flying skateboard and put it on the sea surface. The skateboard could float on the water surface. The 2 stepped on the skateboard and set off again, this time at a much slower speed. How good it is to fly honestly. What speed do you want? Fast is not a good thing these days. Su Mu fixed his gaze on the last big island, where there was a creepy atmosphere. Chapter 71. The enemy is very strong. If you go all out, you may not have no chance of winning. Ying Zhang escorted Locke back to guard the ark, and Su Mu set foot on the flying skateboard to the largest island. The small island is not in danger. This is also Su Mu's confidence in letting the 3 women go to the 3 islands. Su Mu set foot on the largest island, which is 3 kilometers in diameter, and there is a forest in the middle. Ying Zhang has already detected it clearly, and there are 4 pillars standing in the center of the forest. There are chains extending from the pillars, locking a big guy. Su Mu descended from the sky and stood in front of the pillar. This is a guy with a pig's head and a human body, 10 meters tall, with an abnormal body, like a mountain of meat. The defense is extremely high. Once you start fighting, you need to go all out. Eyes, ears, nose, belly button plus chrysanthemum are the only remaining weaknesses. No hostility, no need to fight, he is a monster merchant. A breathless voice came. Little guy, don't look at it. When you came, I felt hairy all over. I'll talk first. I'm not those brainless things. I have wisdom. General Pig looked at Su Mu curiously. What did he see? An owner of supreme luck. If he wants to sacrifice to the king, he will definitely be able to leave this unlucky place. Who are you? Why are you locked here? Su Mu didn't dare to relax his vigilance. This guy was too strong, even he didn't dare to let 3 women set foot on this island. Once something happens, the woman will affect the speed at which he draws the knife. This is survival in the Sea of Demons. If you believe in other people's words casually, you will die without even scum left. My name is General Pig. I used to be an ancient general, but I was imprisoned. I came here to be an NPC, and I can't say I was imprisoned. After all, what I did back then was too stupid. My king gave me a chance to survive. Make me a businessman here. Don't ask what it is, he has evil intentions, abandoned his identity as a businessman, and wants to sacrifice you to a powerful existence. Seeing that Su Mu didn't respond, General Pig's face changed. Did he see through? Hee. General Pig deliberately let out a series of tragic laughter, then took it out of his arms, and put the 4 boxes on the ground. I am a merchant, here are 4 boxes, but only one has treasure, you can give me. Take any box with 5 beast cores, but it depends on your luck if there is no treasure. Quote. Su Mu was about to approach, when suddenly a terrible scene appeared in his eyes. A big hand grabbed him while he was looking down at the box, and then fell hard to the ground. Don't get close, this is a conspiracy, the 4 boxes are all empty, the real box is on him. You are the supreme luck owner, extremely difficult to kill, but he can consume your current luck through gambling and seal you away. The hope of survival is in the treasure box 3000, but now is not the opportunity to open it. Su Mu smiled and shook her head. No, my luck is very bad and I don't like gambling. Let's have a shot. With your luck, you will definitely get something good. General Pig's face became ugly. Why is this person so grumpy? Wouldn't it be nice to be sacrificed by him honestly? Su Mu shook her head. General Pig's patience is exhausted and he is about to launch an attack, please be careful. Why are you so annoying? Hurry up and choose one. If I sell one more, I will be closer to getting out of trouble. Su Mu sneered in her heart. You are out of trouble, but I will be eaten by you until there is not even a scum left. Well, I think it's better to look around first. Attack is coming. The attack method is chain attack, jumping backward. A strong wind hit, accompanied by the sound of piercing the sky. Su Mu suddenly jumped, and a chain hit the spot, tearing the ground apart. You're too boring. General Pig had a murderous look on his face. Su Mu sneered, oh, you just want to sacrifice me for the chance to leave. How do you know? General Pig's walnut-sized brain couldn't turn his head around. You only have the power of luck in your body, how could you know what I think? He attacked you, the authority has been activated, open the box of strange treasures 3000, silently recite in your heart, Master of Yin and Yang, please give me the ultimate power to attack and kill. Su Mu took out the box of strange treasures, and directly slapped a key on it. In an instant, two beams of light, one black and one white, tore through the sky, and General Pig tried to rush over with his small eyes. But General Pig only broke free from one of the 4 chains, and there were 3 more chains holding him. Small bug, why do you have this thing? How can you have all these things? General Pig could only watch Su Mu open the treasure chest, and his heart fell to the bottom. One black and one white, 2 small balls of light appeared in Su Mu's palm. Obtain. An ion ball. Yin-yang ion ball. Dominate the power of yin-yang. When the yin-yang between the sky and the earth collides, it will explode with the power to shake the heaven and the earth. System prompt. Swallowing yin and yang ion balls requires warrior and magic authority, both are indispensable. Conditions are met, is it integrated? And many more. General Pig took out a huge horse sword from his arms. The blade was emitting black light, and it was a weapon of excellent quality. As long as you give me those 2 gadgets, I won't kill you. How about giving you this weapon and the real treasure box on your body? Su Mu smiled and shook her head. Brother, you have written all your desire to kill me on your face, how can I trust you? General Pig quickly wiped his face. Impossible, I don't have any ink on my face. A pig is a pig, this brain is good enough. Fusion. Congratulations to the host for acquiring new skills. Congratulations to the host for acquiring the skill, Yin Ion Blade. Congratulations to the host for acquiring the skill, Yang Ion Blade. Note: a single yin or yang blade has low attack power, but when the yin and yang blades collide together, they will explode with unparalleled power. Su Mu checks her current situation. Su Mu. Soul power. 2800 2800s. Blood value. 2300 2300s. Then he took another look at the consumption of the newly acquired skills. Yin Ion Blade. Consume 15% of the energy, blood and soul power to summon a yin attribute light blade, whose power becomes stronger with the strength of the host. The yang attribute is similar to the yin attribute, the only difference is to summon a yang attribute light blade. Yang Ion Blade. Su Mu opened his right hand, and a bright eyeball-sized white ball of light slowly rotated, and there was a ring of stars around the ball of light. The halo spun extremely fast, and the fiery and violent energy raged. Brother, calm down. You can't hurt me with this alone. General Pig's face turned black. This is not easy to mess with. I know. Opening his left hand, a black energy ball emerged, surrounded by a circle of extremely fast rotating black star rings. The black energy ball is full of a cold, dead breath. Brother, I was wrong, how about we talk about it? General Pig knelt down and kowtowed frantically. Ignore it, attack. Su Mu jumped up and threw 2 energy balls one after the other. The halo of the 2 energy balls expanded rapidly during the flight, tearing everything around them like 2 sharp light blades. General Pig roared, and a set of perfect armor appeared on his body. Defense. The moment the 2 huge halos collided, they also collided with General Pig. In an instant, the forces of yin and yang collided. The color of the sky and the earth changed, a mushroom cloud rose, and the entire island was covered by a violent explosion. After the smoke and dust passed, General Pig was wearing a golden armor and was spotless. The area within a radius of 30 meters seemed to have been bombed, but the 4 pillars and chains were intact. You boy is still a little too tender. Fake, all of this is illusion, he is deceiving you, in fact he has been seriously injured. Su Mu smiled slightly. The chi, blood and soul power in his body were vented, and he raised the yin and yang double blade again. General Pig's face was deformed with fright, and he shouted heart-piercingly, "Boy, calm down." Su Mu threw out 2 yin and yang blades again, and the double blades exploded on General Ju's body. A terrifying blast swept across the place. After 2 attacks, Su Mu had already consumed 60% of his vitality and soul power. Although it has begun to reply, the situation is still not very good. Su Mu. Blood value. 930 recovering. Soul power. 1140 recovering. Cough cough cough. General Pig climbed up from the dust. His armor was in tatters, revealing his bloody body that had been blown up by the explosion. General Zhu said stiffly, "You are very strong, but that's all there is to it. I'll be the next one." Su Mu sneered. "The magic armor is coming. 2 consecutive outbreaks, the state is extremely poor." Su Mu decided to play a wave of explosions. Fight or retreat, all in the middle of this outbreak. Summon the light blade. With a scarlet lightsaber out of its sheath, Su Mu rushed forward. General Pig slashed down. Su Mu swung his sword to block the saber, and then slapped General Pig on the chest. The Kanglong chant. The terrifying concussion force erupted, and the remaining armor on General Ju's body was instantly shattered, and the muscles on his body trembled. But also because of this fat body, he successfully spread the shock force. The attack did not cause any damage to him, but with this push, General Pig lost his balance, leaned back, and opened the door. Su Mu put away the lightsaber, stepped on General Ju's knee, and jumped up with the strength, and the 2 daggers in her hand sank into General Ju's throat. The terrifying power of the red flame erupted, and the flames sprayed out along the wound. The General Pig screamed from being roasted, and layers of butter flowed out. "It's really fat." Su Mu sighed, took out the lightsaber again, leapt high, and pierced General Pig's eyes with his sword. The latter immediately stopped moving. The enemy general has been killed. The 10-meter-high mountain of meat slowly fell down. Su Mu jumped off the corpse and removed the armor. This guy is really fierce. He didn't die after taking 2 big moves, and finally had to make up for it in melee. Su Mu. Su Mu. When the 3 women heard the sound of fighting, they flew over in a hurry, but they saw a corpse like a mountain of meat lying on the ground, and Su Mu was resting on a stone pillar. Su Mu waved his hand and went forward to search the corpse. Obtain. Riding Saber Excellent Level *1. Obtain. Mysterious Treasure Box 1. Su Mu took out the treasure box and opened it. Acquired. 1 Yumang Ice Silkworm. Yumang Iceworm. A carnivore that can devour flesh and blood to produce the finished material Yumang Silk. Why are you a foodie again? Su Mu is speechless. Now he has 4 people, plus 2 pets to raise, and now another one is coming. Yumang Ice Silkworm is a fist-sized baby silkworm. Its whole body is as white as jade, with feathery lines on its body. Leave it, it will bring you unexpected benefits. Okay, let's keep it for now. Su Mu handed the worms to the 3 ladies, and William Locke was bold enough to take it first. Reach out to the corpse. Unable to decompose. Stretch to the stone pillar again. Unable to decompose. Well, I can't take them with me. Su Mu looked around, as if there was nothing left, and was about to leave. A hint came from the 6th sense. In the middle of the 4 stone pillars, there is something good under the corpse. Su Mu pondered for a while, and called 3 women, together with himself, pushed the corpse of General Pig aside, and then took out a military shovel and handed it to the 3 for them to dig. Su Mu was too tired. Seeing this, Chi Yu quickly applied a few healing spells to Su Mu. Seeing that the effect was not great, she flew back to the Ark on a skateboard and brought Alice back. As expected of a monster, Alice brushed Su Mu with love bubbles for 10 minutes, and Su Mu's vitality and soul power returned to full. But mental fatigue is incurable. Soon, a golden treasure chest was dug out by Qin Fangfang. Mr. Su, I dug it out. Su Mu stepped forward to open the golden treasure chest. Obtain. Mysterious Treasure Map 1. Open it and see that there is a red light on the map, marking itself. There is also a blue light spot in the middle of the map, marking the treasure. There are still some words in the blank space of the map. Brave human adventurer, when you get this map, you must have killed General Pig. That Hunden once wanted to touch the princess, how could I let him go? I sealed his power with the pillars of 4 souls, and sealed his soul with the soul-suppressing chain, so that he would never be reborn after death. Unfortunately, due to some special reasons, I can't kill him personally. It doesn't matter, as long as he is dead. You can't take away his body and the pillars of the 4 souls, but it doesn't matter. As a reward for helping me, I will give you this treasure map. There is a precious gift at the end of the treasure map. For some special reason, I can't tell you what the treasure is, but it will definitely give you a lot. Su Mu put away the map and led everyone back to the Ark. After this fight, I was sore all over. Suddenly, an announcement came from Mahai. Magic C announcement. In view of the fact that some players have obtained professional authority in advance and their combat effectiveness is extremely high, the combat effectiveness system is now activated in advance. In view of the fact that some players obtained the team card in advance and successfully formed a team, the faction system is now activated in advance. Added combat power interface and power interface now. Increase the combat power ranking system and power ranking system. Newly added rare islands, professional islands. Landing on professional islands can obtain professional permissions. Friendly reminder. To survive in the magical sea, it is better to form a team. Alone, it is inevitable to be lonely. Update completed. The world channel exploded in an instant. Su Mu opened the system immediately and found that there were indeed 2 status bars and 2 leaderboards. Open the combat power column. Su Mu. Talent. 6th sense God level, can evolve. Supreme luck God level, can be upgraded. Occupational authority. Warrior, magician. Abilities. Demon armor descends, summon light blade, yin, cation blade. Weapons. Elemental hand crossbow, epic grade, tang sword, perfect grade, Shaoyan dagger, excellent grade. Comprehensive combat power score, 48,761. Can you hide it? Su Mu was speechless. Something bad happened. Open the leaderboard, and sure enough, he is ranked first. Battle ranking list. Name on the left, combat power on the right. First place. Su Mu combat power, 48,000. Second place. Chi Yu 2060. Third place. William Locke 2500. Fourth place. Long Johnfang 1072. The whole world channel was overwhelmed by Su Mu's fighting power. Wu Kao, I'm only 340 combat strength, but Boss Su is 48,000. Tear, is this fake? The system release, how could it be fake? Could it be that Boss Su is 2 against the sky, and the result is that the Magic C has to upgrade the level system? As soon as this remark came out, the world fell silent. Speaking of which, the last time Mahai had to make an announcement, it was also made by Mr. Su, right? Yeah, they've all been called. Boss Su is about to go against the sky. Su Mu blocked the chat channel, and in just a few seconds, he had already received hundreds of thousands of private chats, all begging for a hug. People, the most annoying thing is to be famous, to be a little hamster quietly, raising his own 3 hamster wives, how nice. Su Mu opened the treasure map, and as the Ark moved forward, the position of her own red dot on the treasure map also began to change. Su Mu has a premonition that this treasure map will take her to a brand new world and start a new journey. Someone opens the power channel, and there are billions of people, and there will always be a few people who get the team card. There are not many forces now, only a dozen or so. But at the head of this is Su Mu's supreme miracle. My God, William Locke and Chi Yu are both immortal talents in Boss Su's team, no wonder Boss Su is so strong. The feeling is that all their equipment is given to Boss Su. Hee, if you can't eat grapes upstairs, you say grapes are sour. The difference is only double. We can think that Su Mu has absorbed the resources of the other 2 people, but now they are 20 times worse. This is definitely not a resource. The problem is that no matter how powerful a weapon is, there is a limit. Yeah, don't forget that Su Mu is the first person to open the occupation authority. It must be the occupation that strengthens the combat effectiveness of Su Boss. Sour, the whole world is soaked in the jar of vinegar, envy and hate. Strong strength, accompanied by 3 beauties, is this survival? Why don't you come on vacation? Don't bother with that world channel, let's take a look at what you've gained. Su Mu took out the excellence grade saber, which shrank into a 1-meter long knife in Su Mu's hand. The handle of the knife is 40 centimeters, the width of the knife is 4 centimeters, and the weight of the knife is 18 kilograms. Its shape is as cool as the previous Kangxi sword. It is also engraved with a golden thunderbolt. Who do you want this thing? Zanma Dao Likong, excellent level, the treasured sword bestowed by the Pig King in the past to his proud subordinate General Pig carried a glory, but the Pig General betrayed the Pig King, and the treasured sword was dusted as a result. 1. Note: this knife was created for the battlefield, also known as the killing blade. It has the ability to cut, it is extremely sharp, and it has the power to break armor, which can directly tear any armor below the perfect level. The things are good, but I have an excellent lightsaber. This is redundant, you are welcome. The quality of the lightsaber summoned by summoning the light blade has reached the half-step epic level. It has 2 attributes, hot and sharp, and comes with physical and magical attacks. The Tang saber in his hand is also to test the enemy's strength, and the saber is really redundant for Su Mu. I don't want to be a woman. William Locke resisted. Chi Yu also turned her head. Qin Fangfang handed over a drawing. Obtained. Kangyan shield production drawing perfect. Can you help me make this shield? I will charge for everyone in the future to resist the danger ahead. Su Mu looked at the girl with glasses, and saw such a scene in front of her eyes. A weak girl in a school uniform, holding a saber in her right hand. Holding a shield in his left hand, he rampages through the monster crowd. Really don't have a flavor. Kangyan shield. A shield from the ancient Kangyan Legion. This shield is too small to withstand the rain of arrows in the sky, but it will play an excellent effect when combined with a long knife in single-player combat. It is an artifact for a single soldier. Manufacturing requirements. Perfect grade metal 4, perfect grade wood 4, strong enchanted book 4. Yes, there is no material for the shield right now, and I will give it to you after a while. Su Mu spread out her hands. I don't have any supplies, show me your harvest. Qin Fangfang blushed and handed over another blueprint. Obtained. 1000 machine belt production drawing, perfect level. It is worthy of being a little expert in drawing drawings. 1000 machine belt. It is specially designed for the mysterious old man 1000 machine for climbing mountains. After using it, a hook with a rope can be issued from the waist to penetrate into trees or rocks. The longest distance is 50 meters, which can be used to climb mountains and mountains the artifact of obstacles. Production requirements. Perfect grade metal 2, perfect grade silk thread 8, excellent grade animal skin 1, shooting attachment book *2. Su Mu turned her head and glanced at the Yumeng iceworm on the table gnawing on the fine grade flesh. The silk thread spit out by this guy is the perfect grade silk thread. Spit out 1 for every 4 pieces of fine grade flesh and blood, with a maximum of 8 per day. Chi Yu took out 10 pieces of perfect metal, 10 pieces of perfect wood, and kill a wild boar, harvest 8 pieces of fine flesh. William Locke had little luck, only found 1 wolf, got a wolf skin, and 8 pieces of wolf meat. Su Mu opened the trading channel and put the meat on it. Trader. Su Mu. Trading item. Fine flesh and blood *2. Requirements. Strong enchanted book. Alternative. Shooting enchanted book. Inventory. 8. Shouting about this kind of thing on the World Channel will sell faster, but the World Channel has already exploded, and everyone is discussing the news of Su Mu and his team. Obtain. Strong enchanted book 4. Obtain. Shooting enchanted book 4. Even so, Su Mu got what she wanted within seconds. Someone wants to make friends with you, so they directly sell the things you sell. Su Mu took out Kang Yundan's blueprint, chose to study, and the blueprint turned into a beam of light and disappeared. Click manufacturing. Consumption. Perfect grade metal 4, perfect grade wood 4, strong enchanted book 4. Obtain. Kangyan shield perfect level *1. The shield is 50 centimeters long, getting smaller and smaller from top to bottom, with a width of 30 centimeters at the top and 20 centimeters at the bottom, with a slight curvature. The ferocious heads of the 10 Song dynasties are painted on the shield. Kangyan shield. It can perfectly resist the slashing and stabbing of perfect level weapons, and resist the bombardment of ordinary magic below the 3rd level. Katakana middle dot take it. Quote. Backquote katakana middle dot. Su Mu handed the shield to Qin Fangfang. Qin Fangfang took it, held the sword and the shield, and waved it twice. The air made the sound of being cut by blades. After a while, Qin Fangfang gasped and put down the knife. I'm sorry. The sword and shield are still too heavy. With my physical strength, I can't fight for a long time. Su Mu smiled and shook her head. You still need to exercise, eat more meat, and gain more strength. Everything is ready. Everyone set off to the next island. Chi Yu came to open the ark, and Su Mu and Locke sat on the front wings to fish. I haven't fished this peacefully for a long time. Yeah, in order to survive, you have to keep exploring the island, it's really too busy. 10 minutes later, the float instantly sank into the sea. Su Mu stood up, holding the fishing rod, and a perfect bluefin tuna jumped out of the water. Draw a knife to knock it out, and then break it down. Acquisition. Perfect fish 8. Qin Fangfang took the fish and sent it to the cold storage on the 3rd floor. William Locke looked Nuo Jiaohao greedy. She also had a perfect fishing rod in her hand, but only some silverfish were caught, and occasionally there were excellent big fish. But compared with Su Mu, her luck is not a little bit worse. As expected of Boss Su. Su Mu smiled, turned her head to look forward, and straightened her eyes. There is something wrong with the island ahead. There seems to be a camp above, which is very powerful. Don't send Eagle Sauce to investigate, there is a magician on it, it will hurt Eagle Sauce. Recommend an assassination. Su Mu looks at the island in the distance. There is a low mountain on the island with a small village on it. The village is full of goblins. Below the village, though, Su Mu saw what he wanted. A golden paddy field. This rice field is extraordinary. Su Mu stepped on the flying skateboard and activated the stealth ability of the phantom military uniform. I'll go and have a look first, you hide in the bottom of the sea to meet me. Su Mu stealthily approached the island and found that there was indeed a goblin village living on it. There are 30 wooden houses inside the wooden wall, among which there is an extra-large wooden villa in the middle of the village. Moreover, the goblin village has a clear division of labor, including patrol soldiers, farmers, and craftsmen. Those patrol soldiers are tall and well-armed, they are not the miscellaneous goods they used to be. Each one is comparable to a small captain. Discovery. Goblin Militia, Combat Power, 2000. Su Mu turns on the 6th sense perception. The physical strength of Goblin is not strong, but the weapons are all high quality, and the attack power is relatively high. There are 12 Goblin militiamen on the street, wearing fine armor and holding long swords. They are not fast and can be killed from a distance. Su Mu looks like the entrance of a village, where 4 arrow towers stand. There are 2 Goblin archers on each. Discovery. Goblin Archer, Combat Power, 2200. 3 people form a column, and 6 people form an army. The combined combat power of this goblin village is already comparable to that of the previous small army. Su Mu disappeared and walked around the village. There is only one entrance, but there may be hidden intersections. No. Okay. Su Mu rubbed her brows. This village is really easy to defend and difficult to attack. Using a big move. 593 Unless in special circumstances, it is not recommended to use yin and yang ion blades to destroy the sky. Su Mu had no choice but to give up, throwing 2 yin and yang ion blades in the morning, and has not fully recovered yet. Back then, General Zhu had a set of perfect level armor, and the yin-yang ion blade could completely abolish that set of perfect level armor, as well as destroy most of the village's resources. It is recommended to lurk and hunt one by one. It has the power to perceive magic waves. If you don't want to go to war directly, it is recommended to be a bit more wretched. What if we go to war directly? Open the magic armor and directly assault the central villa. Su Mu decided to assassinate. He used to be hard steel, but this time he wanted to do some tricks. Going to the back of the village, where the wall is only 5 meters long, Su Mu gave up skateboarding. Pull out the tang knife, stick a sword in the center of the wall, and step on the tang knife to go up. This is the weak point of the village's defense, because it is difficult to perceive the surrounding environment with the 6th sense. There are 2 goblins in the house ahead. At first, Su Mu's Cheyenne dagger, like a cat, leapt into the window, slashed with both daggers, and cut the throats of 2 goblins. Looking up, this is a kitchen, and there is a wild boar waiting to be slaughtered on a table. Discovery. The goblin farmer has a cruel temperament, loves to kill, and has an extremely fast reproductive ability. Su Mu began to search, but only found 12 cabbages and 3 carrots, and the last wild boar was also broken down by Su Mu. Get 8 pieces of common grade wild boar. There are goblin soldiers approaching. When Su Mu came to the door, he saw a goblin soldier approaching. The goblin soldiers had just walked to the door, but hadn't opened it yet. A long knife pierced through the wooden door and stabbed it in the throat. Drag the corpse into the room. Obtain. Goblin long sword, excellent grade, *1. Obtain. Goblin militia armor, excellent grade, *1. Obtain. Beast core 1. They are all good things, and they can be exchanged for supplies. Discovery. Goblin sacrifice. Goblin priest. Only 1 out of 10,000 goblins will be born as a magic messenger. He is good at poison magic, has a cruel temperament, and likes to play with his prey. Su Mu turned his head, and in the distance, an old guy in a gray robe came over. This old guy didn't enter this murderous wooden house, but walked towards the central wooden house. Follow him, you can enter the central villa. Su Mu turned on the stealth state of the phantom military uniform, and followed the old man carefully. Keep to the left, pay attention to concealment. In front of the central wooden house, the goblin priest took out a beast core and waved it twice in the air. A circular magic circle appeared on the wooden door. The goblin priest took out the beast core, twisted it lightly, and the door opened. It also has a lock, so many tricks. Entering the central wooden house, Mu looked around. What a luxurious chalet. There are 4 large bookshelves in the innermost, and there are many enchanted books on them. There is also a huge golden treasure chest in the middle of the bookshelf. There is a table in the middle, and there are 3 perfect drawings on the table. It's time to start killing. Su Mu took out Sha Yan and pierced directly into the back of the goblin priest's heart. The power of flames erupted. There was no sound at all, and the goblin priest fell down. Obtain. Beast core 1. Obtain. Broken goblin robe, excellent grade, *1. Well, it's quite exciting. Su Mu smiled and began to search for supplies. Obtain. Bookshelf 4. Obtain. Blank book 40. Obtain. Shooting enchanted book 6. Ah, what a coincidence, the attachment of the quadruple machine belt is disabled. Coming to the table, Su Mu picked up 3 blueprints. Obtain. Design blueprint of perfect water wheel. Obtained. Design blueprint of perfect grade hand crossbow. Obtain. Perfect toilet design blueprint. Su Mu put away the 3 blueprints. The water wheel blueprint is useless for now, and the folk meal can be used to equip the 3 girls. Perfect toilet. One of the accessories of the Ark, it discharges all the filth out of the Ark. This is Su Mu's favorite. Finally, I don't have to deal with it outside every day. Go to the corner and open the golden treasure chest. Obtain. Lingyu rice seeds perfect grade *100. Obtain. Fire fragment 1. Su Mu gasped in surprise. The perfect rice is really good. After so many days, Su Mu almost forgot the taste of the rice. He is really tired of eating meat every day. When the rice grows, he must be ahead of the 3 bowls. Perfect grade rice, the taste should not be bad. Take it away, all special. Su Mu took out a rhombus crystal. When he got the enchanting table, he also got a piece of this crystal from the guardian. Spark fragment, the residue after the death of a mechanical creature, usually useless. This is how the system is explained. But the 6th sense gave Su Mu the feeling. This item is extraordinary, it is recommended to keep it. There are a few things. Su Mu knocked on the wall carefully. The house looked like a 2-story villa from the outside, so there must be a secret passage. Finally came to the junction of 2 wooden walls. Found it. Cut along the gap between the 2 planks. Su Mu took out a military shovel and cut in. Discover a mysterious space. There is hostility in it, and the combat power of the opponent is 34,000. Have you dug up a copy again? The opponent is good at magic and illusion, and is about to be hit by illusion. Pay attention to observe the surroundings. Ahead is a staircase. The opponent is on the stairs. If you haven't come down, you can play a wave. Su Mu was speechless, and in the next second, the surrounding scenery changed drastically. He's not in a goblin hut, but in a huge sailing ship. The sailboat is covered with excellent grade flesh and blood, and there are 7,000 or 8,000 milliliters of water. Water purifier, vegetables, everything. Anyone else would be attracted, but for Su Mu. Sister, my ark is much better than this. Besides, there is only so much water, are you looking down on me? Su Mu stood where he was. The scenery perceived by the sixth sense came to my mind. He stands in front of a wooden wall behind which is an upward staircase. At the end of the stairs stood a woman. The woman is wearing a mask, wearing a white princess dress, and holding a long sword in her hand with white gloves. Her temperament is like a high-ranking queen. Through the mask, you can see the pair of blood-colored eyes. Ha, Sharingan. Su Mu pulled out a military shovel and kicked the wooden wall to pieces. In the next second, the illusion shattered. Su Mu possessed the magic armor, and rushed upstairs like a cannonball, but there was nothing inside. Escaped. It is a space prop like a team card. If you really fight with it, it is not a wise decision. Su Mu felt a little regretful. He felt that this guy stole his battle prize. Above the endless sea, a white figure gritted his teeth. How did you meet such a strong person? Her name is Long Kangshuan, and she comes from the ancient empire deep in the Demon Sea. This time, her empire paid her a mysterious item to let her come to this so-called novice area to find a mysterious item. She has already located the location, but unexpectedly he ran into Su Mu unexpectedly. Supreme luck, the power of yin and yang. If you don't die, you must be the overlord. Although this one seems a little weak, it should have been a fight with a big guy, which is also in line. 2 hours ago, there was a terrifying wave in the east, and the combat power will not be lower than 40,000, or even higher. Ah, no matter how you say it, I can't fight. People have ignored my old lady's illusion. Hey, I will definitely die if I fight, but I really can't be reconciled. Long Kangshuan stamped his feet, but what can he do? Facing Su Mu, she could only be impotent and furious. She didn't get what she wanted, and there is a very magical prop hidden in it. It's a dragon. There is a breath of a dragon here. Hey, that woman failed. Su Mu kicked open a basket. This is a utility room. There are many things in it, but most of them are ordinary goods. After being shaken, a book fell from the beam of the room and landed right at Su Mu's feet. Su Mu picked up the book and patted the dust off it. Obtain. Encyclopedia of Common Languages in the World. World Universal Language Encyclopedia. A book that records the common language of the Demon Sea world. You can learn the common language of the Demon Sea, and the remaining number of uses 10. Su Mu's expression brightened. When they fought with the goblins before, they couldn't understand what they were talking about, so they could only use their sixth sense to judge each other's thoughts. Well now, I can directly understand what the recorder is saying. But also reuse props. Study. He searched the entire space carefully, but he didn't see what he wanted. Since there is no room, it is in the pillar, or in the floor. Su Mu took out the tang knife and beat the wall and the floor, searching inch by inch, and finally came to the pillar in the center. Su Mu knocked on the pillar, and there was a crisp muffled sound from inside. Ha, empty. It is empty. The item is at a height of 1.5 meters on the pillar. Su Mu took out a military shovel and split the pillar, and soon, a black scale was exposed. Discovery. The inverse scale of the Black Sky Demon Dragon. Haitian Demon Dragon Nilan. A strange treasure. Haitian Demon Dragon fought a decisive battle with the 7th Demon King. For thousands of years, Nilin wanted to have an ancient romance with the magic dragon. But, the magic dragon died because of the loss of Nilan, and the peach tree also died because of the long-term nourishment of Nilan. Finally, it was made into a pillar. Note: don't be too sentimental, dragons can only love dragons. Effect: the secret order of the Dragon Forbidden Area. After obtaining it, you can enter the Dragon Forbidden Area and ask for any attribute Dragon Soul. Su Mu took out the treasure map, and for some reason, she always felt that this reverse scale would be useful in photographing the location of the treasure. This is the intuition of the sixth sense. Suddenly, there was a shock outside. The 3 crazy women saw that you didn't come out, so they attacked the village directly. Su Mu quickly opened the private chat, only to see that it was almost full of messages. Husband, how are you? Answer me. Husband, where are you? Did something happen to you? Honey, I'll give you 10 minutes, if we don't come out, we'll attack the village. Su Mu rushed out of the room and found that the outside had turned upside down. Goblins are running around. What did those 3 women do? Su Mu knew that the battle situation was urgent at this time, and sending them a message might not be received, so let's call. The magic armor is coming. Summon lightsaber. Su Mu went out straight away, and wherever he went, everything was cut off. It's human. Su Mu, who had finished learning universal language, immediately understood what the goblin said. Kill him, cut into 8 pieces and make porridge. Militia, soldier. No, there are 3 crazy women attacking the village outside, run away quickly. Su Mu shook his head, rushed towards the entrance of the village, and then a scene that shocked him happened. Locke is harvesting rice in the fields, and Eagle Jam is flying in the sky. Qin Fangfang held a knife in her right hand and a shield in her left, with a murderous look on her face. Qiyu held a longbow, and 2 women were confronting a dozen goblins. What's even more amazing is that the group of goblins didn't dare to go forward, standing there a few miles away and cursing. Bad woman, put down our rice, I will kick you. My rice, my rice, my rice. Brother, it's time to show your might. Come on, take these 3 women down and make them your pets. Ahem, I can't, have you seen the woman with the knife? She's so fierce, I'm so scared, why don't we all go up together? There was not much time to transform. Su Mu didn't listen to a few words, and directly charged into the group of goblins. When the lightsaber slashed, more than a dozen heads flew up. The whole group of goblins exploded and began to run wildly. Su Mu went up and cut down all the archers. When the time came, the armor dissipated, and Su Mu confronted the enemy with Tang Dao. 3 minutes later, all the goblin militiamen were killed. What are you doing? Su Mu stepped forward, speechless. Qiyu looked excited, grab the rice, I haven't eaten it for a long time. Su Mu handed over the perfect grade Lingyu rice seeds. Take it and plant it. Qiyu was stunned, and immediately rushed forward. Perfect grade, you really got something good. Su Mu asked curiously, what's the matter with you? Why did you all run out? Qiyu pointed to the sea in the distance, and above the sky, a black cloud appeared. It's windy again, and it feels very wrong. We were worried about you, so we had to go out to look for it, and we happened to meet this rice field. Locke grabs the wheat, and we confront the goblins, thinking we can help you hold off the minions. If you don't come out again, we are going to attack. Su Mu's expression was solemn, and a strong sense of crisis came from the 6th sense. Alarm, we found a large vortex in the magic sea, we must retreat. Walk, Su Mu shouted to Locke in the distance. Don't grab it, come and pack the armor. After speaking, Su Mu began to pull out the armor on the goblin. Obtain. Goblin Militia Armor 1. Obtain. Goblin Militia Sword 1. Several people hurriedly helped Su Mu clean up the scene, and soon, 23 sets of excellent suits were obtained. Retreat. Su Mu pulled the 3 of them into the ark and began to head for a place far away from the black clouds. The sky on the sea can change as soon as it changes. It started to rain lightly outside. Taking this opportunity, Su Mu began to sort out her harvest. 24 sets of fine-grade armor, 16 fine-grade long swords, and 8 sets of fine-grade hand crossbows. These can be exchanged for many things. Su Mu opened the world channel, and first released the information of goblin weapons. Then start shouting, collect enough special blueprints, special, 703, props, and special enchanted books. Boss really started to sell high-quality weapons, and I only have one high-quality weapon in my hand. Hey, people are more popular than people. Boss, have you finished watching the black level weapons? Boss, I have a special item here, but I want 2 long swords and a crossbow. Su Mu replied, send it over and let me have a look, then we can talk about the price. Soon Su Mu received a private chat. Trader, Li Mang. Trade item, Magician Professional Certificate. Requirements, excellent long sword 2, excellent hand crossbow 1, excellent arrow 20. Su Mu looked strange. This is a professional certificate, why are you selling it? Boss, please check the conditions. Su Mu clicked on the permission. Suddenly, this turned out to be a special permission card. Only available with the magician talent. Yes, I want it. After finishing speaking, Su Mu immediately flipped the card away. William Locke as the magician. Li Mang was shocked. Boss, where are you? I have a job, I keep it as a collection, and if I meet someone with magician talent in the future, I can blackmail her with it. Su Mu smiled and threw the card into William Locke's hand. On an arc, Li Busy looked at the crossbow in his hand and suddenly felt unsatisfactory. This thing can be regarded as a treasure by itself. In the hands of Mr. Su, it is a spicy chicken, which can be exchanged for collections. Angry. I have collected enough special props, special enchanted books, and special blueprints. I also have second-hand perfect grade water purifiers and excellent grade water purifiers. The world is boiling instantly, and now everyone still doesn't pay enough attention to weapons, but who thinks too much about water purifiers. Used water purifier, or perfect grade. Boss Su, I have a special enchanted book here, do you want it? A fine grade water purifier will do. Su Mu opens the private chat and selects carefully. Mostly spicy chicken stuff, but I did find something good. On the endless sea, 4 arcs sailed side by side. Zhou Wu looked constipated. Captain, are you really going to sell? Zhao Chuan looked at the card in his hand and nodded. No one can use this thing, maybe Boss Su can use it. Let's establish a good relationship now, and we can receive some care in the future. After finishing speaking, the 4 of them took a look at the terrifying combat power that ranked first on the single-player combat power list. It's almost 50,000. How much do we add up? It can be a little more than Qi Yu. The remaining 4 resigned to their fate. Boss Su, I want to exchange this for a perfect water purifier. Then make friends with you, can I? I don't ask for anything else, I just ask you to think about me first when you sell spicy chicken. Trader. Zhao Chuan. Trade items. Perfect warrior upgrade card. Requirements. Perfect water purifier. Su Mu opened it and took a deep breath instead. It's not that this thing is so good, but that this thing is so good. Perfect warrior upgrade card, special card, increase the professional authority of the warrior, obtain the talent of the perfect warrior, increase the basic combat power of the host by 100%, increase with the increase of the strength of the host, increase the damage of warrior skills by 100%, mix injury skill damage increased by 50%. Obtain the exclusive skill of the perfect warrior, air breaking nirvana slash. If Su Mu can get a powerful attribute boost, plus the attribute of the magic armor, then the boost is not as simple as 1+1. And this is a talent card, use it to get talent. I just don't know what talent it is. Conditions of use. 1. The top fighter authority, the first owner of the fighter profession of each race. 2. God level talent *2, one of which must be a talent of the perception attribute. 3. Minimum combat power, 50,000 inches. Su Mu breathed a sigh of relief. No wonder, the harshness of this card, the first one will kill most people, even if you are lucky. The second is even more desperate. With 2 god-level talents, and one of them is perception, it would be nice to have 1 god-level talent, which is simply embarrassing people. There's a feeling that this thing is meant to be me. However, with such a harsh condition, the talent obtained won't be bad, right? Su Mu sent her second-hand perfect water purifier to the past. There are still more than 900 usage times. If you change it, we will trade it. Change. Quote. Zhao Chuan also had no choice but to sell this thing if he could meet a buyer, otherwise he would be targeted by those who meet the conditions in the future. More importantly, he formed a team, but lacked water. The transaction is completed, and the perfect warrior upgrade card is obtained. Note. This card needs to go to the Dragon Forbidden area to activate it. The Forbidden Land of the Dragon Clan, and the Forbidden Land of the Dragon Clan. Su Mu took out a scale. This was the second time he heard the name of the Forbidden Area of the Dragon Clan, and he didn't know where the Forbidden Area was. Suddenly, there was a shaking around. Su Mu, Qi Yu exclaimed. When Su Mu turned her head, she saw that the ark was already on the edge of a large whirlpool with a diameter of 100 meters. Looking back again, sure enough, there were 4 large whirlpools surrounding them. When did it happen? Su Mu frowned, pulled Qi Yu down, and took the driving seat by herself. The ark is not in danger. What's the matter with leaving? Back. The mechanical whale moved slowly. Turn left. The whale began to leave the danger zone slowly, only then did Su Mu notice that there were 4 huge vortexes around them, and they were slowly converging. Don't stay away. When the 4 vortexes converge, there will be a chance. Su Mu drove Fang Zhou around to the periphery of the maelstrom and waited silently. The large whirlpools quickly converged to form a larger whirlpool, with a center of 3.2 in the whirlpool, a kilometer-long island drilled out of the water. At the same time, an island suddenly appeared on the radar. Fresh from the island, Su Mu laughed, just saving an island. But before going there, I still have to clean up what I just gained. Discovery. Boss Island. System prompt. There is a boss on each boss island, the strength is extremely strong, it is recommended not to go alone. Kill the boss to get a professional card. And the corresponding career door. Su Mu pondered for a moment, walked up to the top of the arc, and looked at the distant island. The vortex has disappeared, and a huge figure can be vaguely seen standing above it. Shield Warrior, extremely powerful, invincible unless you go all out. Killing can obtain the inheritance of the Shield Warrior. Shield Warrior. Su Mu glanced at Qin Fangfang. Qin Fangfang, do you want to consider becoming a Shield Warrior? There is a boss on the island ahead. It is a Shield Warrior. If you can kill it, you will get a Shield Warrior professional authorization card. Do you want it? Qin Fangfang hesitated. Is that boss very strong? Su Mu shrugged and said indifferently, it's okay, if I try my best, it won't be a problem, if you can help from the side, that would be even better. I'll ask you if you want this matter. Anyway, you must play it. In the future, professional cards will be the mainstream goods. There is no harm in saving a batch in advance. Besides, Chi Yu is a healer, and Locke also has a magician card, as long as he finds a gate of inheritance, he can get a job. They all have the power to protect themselves, and now it's up to you. My requirements are not high. When I fight, you can protect yourself as long as you can. It's true that girls play shield battles, but it's safe. Quote. Qin Fangfang felt a little uncomfortable. How should I put it? She feels that she is the redundant one, when it comes to fighting. Boss Su beat them 3. Now that Chi Yu can heal and Locke has booked a support, she can only be used as a tank, but the tank is also good. I want. Su Mu nodded. Let's talk about it tomorrow. I had a fight with General Pig today, and my condition has not recovered. Go and plant the rice first. The state means that the spirit is 11, the soul power, and the blood value can be recovered by itself, but the mental exhaustion requires rest to recover. After speaking, He returned to the boat and opened the treasure map to take a look. Judging from the distance between that prison island and here, I'm still 100 kilometers away from the place where the treasure is hidden. This island happened to appear at this time, is there any connection? There is too little information, but I still hope that the place where the treasure is hidden is the forbidden place of the Dragon Clan. Turn on the World Channel and continue to sell supplies, and people in the world did not ask why Su Mu suddenly disappeared. This kind of thing is very common. Many people disappeared while chatting and never came back. Everyone is used to it. Among the many enchanted books and blueprints, Su Mu found another good thing. Perfect grade quilt manufacturing drawings. What do you want? Now Su Mu only has one quilt, and her daily life is miserable. 4 people share one quilt, and her imagination is overwhelming. Boss, I want a sword and a set of crossbows. Su Mu pondered for a while, the price is not expensive. Make a deal. Perfect quilt. A set of fragrant quilt can make you enter the paradise of dreams. Production requirements. Perfect grade cotton 4, perfect grade silk 2, sleeping enchanted book 12. Su Mu glanced at it, and there were not many resources in his hand, so Su Mu couldn't do it by exchanging a superior weapon for an enchanted book. No matter how cheap a weapon is, it is also cheaper than the enchanted book. Do any of you want goblin armor? Su Mu asked. I want it. Qin Fangfang rushed over immediately. As for Chi Yu, the scale armor that Su Mu eliminated back then was given to her. Goblin's armor looks a bit like heavy armor, but it's a bit heavy. Qin Fangfang took out a set and cleaned it, put it on, and picked up the knife and shield. He looked like a great general. But after just 2 steps, she couldn't do it. I said, can you handle it? Chi Yu looked at the exhausted Qin Fangfang, and hurriedly went up to use 2 healing techniques. The little mermaid Alice also went up to take 2 healing bubbles. You have to eat it. Qin Fangfang gritted her teeth, I can't hold you back. Su Mu smiled and shook her head. Women are stubborn. But it is precisely because of this stubbornness that we can be together, isn't it? Turn on the World Channel and continue to sell weapons and armor. At this moment, I feel like I have become an arms dealer. Sell long swords, hand crossbows, armor, and buy rare blueprints. Perfect grade cotton, perfect grade silk. Taking advantage of this time, Su Mu came to the enchanting table, which was used to enchant books. Counting the blank books, after several explorations, there are a total of 60 books and 40 enchanting stones. Consumption. Blank book 40, enchanting stone 40. Obtain. Enchanted book of wind 8. Obtain. Enchanted book of electricity 8. Obtain. Magic armor enchanted book 4. Obtain. Sleep enchanted book 6. Obtain. Flame enchanted book 6. Obtain. Enchanted book of light 6. Obtain. Ice enchanted book 2. Su Mu, please click. Now there are wind, electricity, and light enchanted books, 8 each, 12 flames, and 10 ice. Magic armor upgrade conditions. Magic armor enchanted book 4, any profession upgrade card 1, any dragon soul 1. Su Mu is speechless. The professional upgrade card, Dragon Soul, can only be used in the forbidden area of the Dragon Clan. Are you planning to explode in the forbidden area of the Dragon Clan? Trade. Goblin long sword * 2. Obtained. Perfect cotton 4. Trade. Goblin hand crossbow 1, excellent arrow 10. Obtained. Perfect silk 3. Consume 6 goblin longswords and 2 sets of crossbows in exchange for 12 perfect grade cotton and 6 perfect grade silk. Manufacturing. Consumption. Perfect grade cotton 12, perfect grade silk 6, sleeping enchanted book 6. Obtain. Perfect futon 3. Su Mu thought for a while, silently put away a pair of quilts, and put the remaining 2 quilts on the bed. Although it is better to treat women, but for women, there will always be a few days every month, leaving a spare set. With all kinds of elemental enchanted books, Su Mu is ready to make arrows. The elemental crossbow can only exert stronger power when paired with elemental arrows. And the more types, the stronger the strength of the increase. The next step is to make arrows. However, other materials are fine, and there seems to be a lack of feathers. You can't pull out the eagle sauce, can you? Suddenly, there was a loud noise, and Su Mu felt the whole ark shake. What the hell? People are floating on the sea. How can they not be knifed? Congratulations, a big eagle was killed on the ark. Su Mu looked up and saw a big eagle lying on top of his head. The force of the impact was too great. The head was hit with bloody flesh, not far from death. Ah, I really wanted to get a bird to collect bird feathers to make arrows, but isn't this too coincidental? Su Mu climbed to the top of the ark and dragged the dead bird back to the ark. 363. Breakdown. Obtain. Perfect Toba 122. Obtain. Beast Core 1. Obtain. Perfect Bird Meat 4. Chi Yu came out from the second floor, just in time to see the arranged flesh and blood, showing surprise on his face. Where did it come from? The one who crashed into the ark. Chi Yu was speechless. Is there such a stupid bird? Su Mu shook his head and calculated. To manufacture arrows 46, you need feathers 92, wood 92, metal 46, beast core 46, any element attribute enchanted book 46. The beast cores are enough. I got the 28 beast cores I killed just now, plus the previous inventory, it is enough. There are feathers, what is missing is metal, and wood. Su Mu fixed his gaze on the boss island not far ahead. A scene flashed in his eyes. In the northeast corner of the island, there is a piece of ore. Digging down can get enough metal, and there are some trees beside it, which are perfect wood. Suddenly, Chi Yu let out an exclamation. Su Mu, what's wrong with you? Su Mu wiped away the blood and tears from her eyes. Recently, she has seen images more and more times. The only bad thing is that she shed blood and tears every time. Blood and tears are proof of the evolution of the sixth sense. It's okay, my body is evolving, it's normal. Su Mu looked into the distance and took out her pocket watch to locate it. Remaining time, 72 hours. 3 days are enough, go up and collect a wave of resources first. Su Mu glanced at the time, the sky was not yet dark. While there was still plenty of time, Su Mu drove the ark close to the island, and the countdown on the pocket watch was activated when he was 100 meters away from the island. Here in the northeast, as expected, there is a forest, and there is a huge ore beside it. When Su Mu walked onto the island, the sixth sense came to him. The boss is watching you silently, and is about to launch an attack. Su Mu asked the three women to cut trees and dig mines, while she stared into the distance, where a big man came out of the forest. Wow, wow. The sound of armor rubbing sounded, and the big guy was moving here, and it was obvious that outsiders like them were not welcome. Su Mu looked up at the sky, and the sky was getting dark at this time, which was a good time for the evil spirits to come out to cause trouble. The three women also felt that the atmosphere was not right, and began to mine desperately. Suddenly, a huge figure descended from the sky, and the sun-handled saber slashed down on Su Mu's head in panic. The magic armor is coming. Su Mu drew out his lightsaber to meet the enemy, and the lightsaber and saber collided with each other, bursting out with bright light. Under the light, it was a face with an iron mask. Kunlun's slave Wu Kunyan is tall, powerful, and good at fighting, but his too strong strength makes him not so flexible. Using Kandlong Chan against the enemy will have a miraculous effect. Su Mu withdrew and retreated. This blow seemed to be half a caddy, but he suffered a bit. He lost the advantage when the lightsaber was slashing against the saber, which was good at chopping. Be careful, this guy is about to activate his skills, brutal collision. Kill. Boss Wu Kunyan was holding a huge shield, like a cannonball facing up. Obviously, this boss doesn't want Su Mu to get supplies from this island. Su Mu stepped down heavily, and her whole body responded like a cannonball. Under the setting sun, it seemed that a chick attacked an eagle. The Kandlong chant. Su Mu pressed up against the shield with one hand, the power of the shock was released, and a terrifying shock wave erupted between the hand and the shield. Roar, roar tilde operator. Wu Kunyan let out an incompetent roar, and was thrown more than 10 meters away, and the hand holding the shield trembled even more. Kandlongyan has a restraining effect on defensive weapons, but this guy's shield is of high quality. This blow did not abolish his shield. But it won't feel good in comparison. You can still fight for 15 seconds. If the armor looses, you will struggle very hard. At this time, there was a shout in the distance. Husband, we have finished collecting, let's go. Wu Kunyan was also anxious and roared angrily. He did not allow anyone to take away every plant and tree on this island. Su Mu summoned the yin and yang ion blades, smashed 2 light balls, 1 yin and 1 yang, and then turned and left. Behind him, the dual blades of yin and yang converged, and a huge mushroom cloud rose, and a burly figure could be vaguely seen in the flames. Handsome men never watch explosions behind them. The armor on Wu Kunyan's body was pretty good. This blow didn't kill him, but his condition wasn't too good either. Back on the ark, Su Mu drove the ark back a little distance. This distance will not make the island disappear, and the boss will not rush out. Craft. Elemental arrows. Consumption. Perfect feather 16, perfect wood 16, perfect metal 8, enchanted book of light 8, light elemental arrow 8. In the end, Su Mu got a total of light elemental arrows, wind elemental arrows, electric elemental arrows, 8 each, flaming arrows 12, and ice arrows 10. Find a place to experiment. Su Mu came to the deck, vented his soul power, and shot a duplicate wind arrow towards the sea. The sea level seemed to be suppressed by the wind, forming a depression, and it took a long time to return to normal. It seems to be repulsed. Su Mu shot another electric arrow, and in an instant, the blue current overflowed the sea level, and several stunned fish surfaced. Paralyzed, and very destructive. Finally Su Mu shot an arrow of light towards Su Mu on the island. The arrow of light streaked across the sky, leaving a small hole in the tree emitting white smoke. Wind is repelling, light is penetrating, and electricity is paralyzing. Well, that's it. Su Mu stretched her waist, turned around and entered the ark, and fell asleep after dinner. The next morning, when Su Mu woke up from her dream, the first thing she did was check her own information. Su Mu. Combat Strength 53,004. Blood Value. 2,500 2,500. Soul Power. 3,000 3,000. The soul power and blood value are a little stronger than yesterday, but how can this combat power be opened so much? Elemental crossbows get matching arrows, which will increase combat effectiveness. All right. After breakfast, Su Mu took a look at the farmland on the second floor, which is full of his sweetheart. The potatoes are almost ripe, the rice has been planted, and the milk fruit tree will ripen in the evening. Mature quickly. I feel sick after eating meat. After confirming that the farmland is fine, Su Mu set foot on the island again, This time he will fight to the death with the island guard boss. As soon as he set foot on the island, the sixth sense sent an alarm. Someone is peeping. The method is very secretive, hostile, and wants to kill you. Su Mu stopped walking. What's the situation? The eyes swept around without a trace. The forest on the island is not dense, and you can forget it at a glance. Looking around at the sea level, it is also empty. It's the woman I met in the goblin village back then. Su Mu suddenly realized that this woman must not be reconciled to being robbed, so she secretly prepared to attack. Then put on a play. I already have a plan in mind, and at the same time chat privately in the channel. You three, never leave the ark, we are being targeted. Su Mu came to the middle of the island, and there was a big man sitting on the open space. Wearing black animal face armor, holding a huge gluttonous shield in his left hand and a saber in his right hand. Let's fight. Suppress with frostbolt. Su Mu chuckled, took out the elemental hand crossbow, and released the mental power in his body, duplicating a frost arrow and piercing Wu Kunyin's forehead. Su Kunyin held the saber in his hand and hit the arrow with one blow. The arrow was shattered, but the terrifying cold still erupted, freezing half of his body. Su Mu changed the arrow and shot a burst of electric arrows again. Su Kunyin was instantly paralyzed. Su Mu came to Wu Kunyin and laughed proudly. Ha ha ha, big idiot, can't you move? Wu Kunyin looked at Su Mu angrily, and a cloud of white air spewed out of his nostrils, but he really couldn't break free from the imprisonment of the ice and the paralysis of the thunder and lightning. This is also the helplessness of soldiers, and ordinary soldiers are weak to abnormal states. Then your work has been bombarded by 100 million influencers. The enemy is about to launch an attack, act a little more arrogantly. Tisk tisk, hit me, how about it, am I very strong? Just when Su Mu was proud, a jade hand stretched out from behind, and an ice blue dagger stabbed at Su Mu's back. Clang, Su Mu turned around, her face was no longer playful and arrogant, but murderous. Hello, sneak attack, I have been waiting for you for a long time. Long Kengshuan, extremely poor melee combat ability, good at illusion. Illusionist, you can get an illusionist professional card when you kill it. Note, hostility, the hostility of killing, her appearance violates certain rules, she is afraid that you will announce what you saw her, otherwise her family and even the country will suffer disaster. This woman killed him twice, no matter what the reason was, it needed to be cleaned up. Suddenly, the pale gold Supreme VIP interface opened automatically, and a line of words almost blinded Su Mu's eyes. The third announcement of the World Chat Interface Mahai. Announcement from the Demon Sea. Sakura Valley Dragon Kengshuan violated the prohibition of the Demon Sea and entered the novice area of the human race without permission, and now issues a kill order from the Demon Sea. Long Kengshuan, female, illusionist, with a limit combat power of 40,000, good at illusion, has space props close by, poor melee combat ability. Killing rewards. Special props epic level medicine field production blueprint 1, special props excellent forging furnace blueprint 1. Hiss, 40,000 combat power. I only have 400 combat power, so let's hide. I can't afford it, if you see it, you should act as if you didn't see it. Recently, if you see a woman, hide away. I'm still good at illusion. Illusion is something that can leapfrog battles at will, and there are space props. I'm afraid Boss Su won't be able to kill this kind of existence. Is this a master coming to Novice Village? What should I do if I want to start a massacre? Should I hide? The entire world channel was cast a shadow, fear spread, and some people even prepared to find an uninhabited island to hide for a while. Collecting resources can be paused for a while. At this time, everyone has a little resource reserve. If you are unlucky and you are killed by that intruder, you will lose everything. Su Mu's Tang saber slashed down again. When it comes to fighting, don't think about what conditions to say, you will know everything after fighting. Long Kengshuan looked ferocious, and shouted loudly. Shame on your face, let me tell you, my combat power is real, not a fake combat power of weapon enhancement, if you fight with me, you will die miserably. Su Mu chuckled, and punched Kanglongyan to repel the attacking Wu Kunyin. During the battle, the harder you speak, the more cowardly you are. The magic armor is coming. The gorgeous magic armor possessed her body like flowing water. Su Mu went up close to her body, and fell with a single blow. Long Kengshuan dodged dangerously, she was very helpless. Illusion is useless to the person in front of her, she can only fight in close combat, but what's even more regrettable is that her close combat ability is insufficient. The big guy over there, how about you and I kill him together? I'll give you the authority that came out, and I only need dragon scales. 673. Wu Kunyan nodded without hesitation, an enemy's enemy is a friend. And he really can't beat Su Mu alone, especially last night, he took Su Mu's big move, and he still hasn't recovered. The two attacked at the same time. Roar, kill gods on. The illusory world comes. The surrounding scenery changed drastically, and Su Mu found herself in the depths of the ocean, surrounded by sea water, and felt like drowning. Holding a long sword in his hand, Long Kengshuan slashed down, and Wu Kunyan also attacked from behind with a knife. Go to hell. Elemental arrows, 3 o'clock direction, using physical arrows can hurt Long Kengshuan. Wu Kunyan is hesitating, his sword is not powerful enough, so he resisted with armor, nothing happened. Holding an elemental hand crossbow, Su Mu shot a frost arrow towards the 3 o'clock direction. This time I used solid arrows. The epic level crossbow and the perfect level arrows froze everything 10 meters ahead. In the deep sea, inside the cold ice, a beautiful figure is looming. How is this possible? Long Kengshuan tried his best to shatter a little ice, but his heart, abdomen, and legs were frozen. The cold erodes her body, and she will die after a long time. Wu Kunyan slashed down with a heavy knife, and the blade hit the armor, causing a lot of sparks, but that was all. How is this possible? Wu Kunyan was horrified in his heart, he hit with all his strength, but he didn't even cut out a trace. How hard is this man's armor? Huge force struck. Su Mu stepped forward with strength and rushed in front of Long Zan. Summon the light blade. The lightsaber was pulled out and pierced towards the air ahead. 2 lines of blood and tears flowed out. Su Mu saw that in the seawater in front of her, a woman whose half body was frozen was trying to make a resisting posture. Puff! The blade tore through the ice and fell into Long Lao's mouth. Discover a mysterious prop, a stand-in doll, which can withstand a fatal attack and move the host to any position within 10 meters around, an escape artifact. Remaining quantity, 2. Yes, you are strong, but you cannot kill me. A life-size puppet was left on the spot, and Long Kengshuan appeared 10 meters away, his body intact. Long Kengshuan put on a proud look, looking aloof. Newcomer, I am Mo Hai, the daughter of the owner of the Cherry Blossom Valley. The Cherry Blossom Valley belongs to a local force, and its background is not comparable to that of you newcomers. All in all, you can't kill me, hand over the dragon scale, and I will spare you, how about it? In fact, Long Kengshuan's back was covered with cold sweat, the sword just now was powerful enough to kill her 10 times. Fortunately, I brought an escape tool, otherwise I would become a pig. Now it's just a fox pretending to be a tiger. Once she is exposed, she will fall into a place of eternal doom. Long Kengshuan thought to himself, it's too scary, how did this guy break his illusion? Too much nonsense, if you are coaxed, you will be coaxed, and start to overwhelm people with power. The fox is pretending to be the tiger, this woman has tried her best, and she is no longer able to do it. If you kill her, you can get a reward. Props take time to use, as long as you are fast enough, you can kill her in seconds. Su Mu concentrated, and 2 lines of blood and tears flowed out. Such a scene emerged in his eyes, he threw the Tang Dao, and it sank into Long Kengshuan's heart. At the same time, the body rushed forward, the lightsaber pierced the air, and the figure of Long Kengshuan just appeared. Hee, let's fight. Su Mu threw Tang Dao like a flying knife, and at the same time, his body burst out. I said, you can't kill me. Long Kengshuan made a proud look, and let the Tang knife penetrate his body. This is a gamble, Long Kengshuan is betting that Su Mu will not attack again after attacking this time. If you fight again, you can only run. The sense of space teleportation hits. Suddenly, Long Kengshuan saw a handsome smiling face in front of his eyes. Then, a burst of blazing heat pierced into the flesh, the aroma of roasted meat came out, and the vitality passed away at a high speed. Long Kengshuan almost went crazy, he stretched out his hands to grab Su Mu's collar and asked why. Why did he find his position after casting his double? Long Kengshuan asked unwillingly. do you have mind-reading skills? Or divination skills? Su Mu said in a voice that only two people could hear. God-level perception talent. I have seen through everything about you, including what you think in your heart. Long Kengshuan lowered his arms weakly. It turns out that the clown has always been me. Magic Ocean announcement. Player Su Mu has killed Long Xuankang, the reward has been delivered, please accept it. The person above who said that Boss Su can't be killed came out. 1 minute, there was a bang, bang bang, his face was swollen, right. 1 minute, this person died. Is it too exaggerated? The space props have not escaped. This is terrible. It is estimated that this guy was bumped into by Boss Su when he entered here, and that person died without even turning on the props. Yes, otherwise, if Mahai made an announcement, people would be slaughtered. If there are space props, a pig can escape for a while. These people are guessing how Su Mu killed the intruder. Some said that they borrowed props, and some said that the person had just arrived and did not react. Anyway, no one said that Su Mu killed him with his own strength. Couldn't it be that Boss Su also knows the space ability in seconds? Boss Su is awesome, please accept my brother, I'm super sweet. Old immortal Su Mu, with boundless mana and boundless magic sea, dominates the sky. Does Su Mu have the idea of forming a city? Or, does he have the idea of building a kingdom? Shall I join? Hey, is the upstairs crazy? But, add +1. Su Mu turned her head to look at Wu Kunyan, who was terrified. Don't kill me. BBAH. While speaking, Wu Kunyan directly knelt down, put down his sword and shield, and stretched his hands into his arms. Take out a card, bow your head and offer it with both hands. What you want is here, I'll give it to you, please don't kill me. This armor and sword are bestowed by the Demon Sea, you can't take it away even if you kill me. I'll give you whatever you want, please let me go. What he said is true, you can only get one card if you kill it. But don't let it go, he is waiting for you to approach you sneak attack. And without killing him, you cannot take this card away from this island. Ask for information, first ask him how to get to the forbidden land of the Dragon Clan. When the time is up, the magic armor dissipates. Seeing this, Wu Kunyan's eyes flashed murderous intent, his hands drooped a little as if he couldn't support it, but he was a little closer to the knife and shield. Su Mu sneered, I can't even hold a card. Wu Kunyan's face twitched, but he didn't act directly out of anger. He couldn't judge whether this was a temptation. From the current point of view, he only had one chance, and he couldn't be impulsive. Give me everything. Let me ask you, how do I get to the forbidden land of the Dragon Clan? Wu Kunyan's face is strange, the forbidden area of the Dragon Clan, how does this person know about the forbidden area of the Dragon Clan? The forbidden area of the Dragon Clan is located 100 kilometers to the north. But you need special credentials to get in. The certificate is the Dragon Scale, but it is not enough. The forbidden area of the Dragon Clan cannot be entered by non-special methods. He must know something, so ask him. I need a way forward, and a way to get in. Su Mu raised the knife, full of murderous aura. Wu Kunyan shed tears. Boss, you know that entering the forbidden area requires a special route, why do you still ask me? Oh, are you testing my sincerity? Oh, this is the way to go. From my island, you will see a few bone islands, don't go up, don't collect supplies, they are the beacons of the Dragon Clan. There are a total of 13 islands, and the 14th is the forbidden land of the Dragon Clan, but the forbidden land of the Dragon Clan is not on the surface of the water, but at a position 50 meters underwater. Don't move anything in the Dragon Clan's forbidden area, go directly to a shop opened by the Dragon Clan, and then hand over the token and choose what you want. What he said is true. The remaining thing is to lure this person to show his feet. Mew looked around. I want to ask, what resources does this island have? Before fighting, figure out the distribution of supplies. The sixth sense can be regarded as a semi-active skill, which improves Su Mu's perception, and active use equals people's concentration. If Su Mu wants to find something specific, he needs to concentrate, and this will consume energy and make Su Mu feel very tired. I'm asking this question to save some energy. Wu Kunyan pointed to the south of the island. There is a pool there, and there is 50 milliliters of gilded snow milk in it. After taking it, you can get the middle. Improve physical fitness. Quote, There is a rockery there, which consumes wood and can produce 10 drops of gold-plated snow milk every day, which can increase physical fitness. He wants to trick you into taking away the gold-plated snow milk and leave the rockery behind. You lied to me and even hid your secrets. Su Mu raised his arms, and the energy, blood and soul power were released. Yin and cationic blade, 2 energy balls, one black and one white, emerged. One was fiery and violent, and the other was deep and quiet. There is obviously a rockery there. Wu Kunyan grimaced, and suddenly thought of a question. That is why Long Kengshuan teleported or was killed. Can you read minds? Su Mu leapt high and threw the yin and yang ion blade. That's just one of my abilities. Wu Kunyan was quite annoyed when he got the answer. After playing for a long time, I answered the enemy's questions earnestly, and it turns out that the clown is really me. This is simply teasing him as a patient with brain disease, which cannot be tolerated. War. The professional card is returned to the body. Shield. Wu Kunyan held a shield in front of him, and an illusory giant shield opened. The yin and yang double blades collided, reacted, and erupted with terrifying fluctuations. The mushroom cloud rose, and the shock waves swept all directions. Wu Kunyan hid behind the shield and held on tightly. Isn't this man not wearing armor? Why is he still so strong? Suddenly, with a click, Wu Kunyan's eyes narrowed. The first crack appeared on the illusory shield, then the second, and then the third. The sound of glass shattering sounded, the energy shield shattered, and the berserk energy swallowed Wu Kunyan immediately. The attack of the yin and yang ion blade was blocked by half. Wu Kunyan has already suffered heavy losses and needs to take advantage of the victory to pursue. Su Mu took a look at his state, and his blood and soul power were still half. Need to hurry up. It is worthy of being a shield warrior who specializes in defense. The attack power is not good, and the defense is high. Before the smoke and dust dispersed, Su Mu rushed forward and slapped out with a palm. The Kanglong chant. The power of the shock blows away the smoke and dust, revealing a shield that is on the verge of breaking. Su Mu slapped it up, and the shield finally couldn't bear it and cracked directly. Kill. Wu Kunyan raised the knife and chopped off Su Mu's head. But in the next second, with a click, a blue electric current bloomed on him. Arrows of electricity. Su Mu withdrew the elemental crossbow and sighed. The crossbow is good, it can be done directly when it is installed. Bright blade slash. Su Mu drew out the light blade and slashed down with the sword. Blood spattered everywhere in an instant. System prompt. Get professional card 1. The 3 guys on the ark came out to clean up the battlefield. With that said, Su Mu came to Long Kengshuan's body and searched it day by day. Obtain. Substitute puppet 1. Obtain. Dragon soul information 1. Su Mu narrowed his eyes slightly and opened the information. So there is such a thing. No wonder that woman desperately snatched the dragon scale. The dragon soul of a diamond star dragon needs to be exchanged for the reverse scale of a dragon of the same level. After obtaining it, not to mention the other benefits of fighting, you can get the authority to be promoted to the ultimate life, but to upgrade to the level of the ultimate life, you still need to constantly devour high-level flesh and blood. Hey, it means that the game is at level 60 when it's launched. If you eat this, the upper limit can be raised to level 100. There is nothing to gain now, but the future has been raised. Ultimate life, one of the strongest life types, an existence beyond the gods. Su Mu gasped, it was really a windfall. When choosing Dragon Soul, choosing this may be the best choice. I really look forward to it. Su Mu couldn't wait any longer, and wanted to go to the Dragon Forbidden area now. It's better to harvest first. Get Mesmer Professional Card 1. Illusionist card can be a sub-profession. Activate to get the illusionist power, and enchant the illusionist skills for yourself. It is a sub-professional card, which can be used by owners of fantasy talents. Note: the protagonist already has all the magic permissions, no need to use it. Can it be a sub-job? Is it a card that can open a second job? Cool. Illusionist, a magician should have the talent for illusion, give it to Locke. Why did you fight for so long? People come before they come. The 3 women rushed over and surrounded Su Mu with Alice in their arms. Without saying anything, Alice threw a dozen healing bubbles first, and then the 3 began to check Su Mu's body. Come and see if you're injured. My God, it's the first time I've seen you fight for so long. When have the three women ever seen a fight of this level? Whether it's killing goblins or fighting bosses like General Pig, Su Emu's fights rarely last longer than 30 seconds. Today is an exception, and the fight lasted for nearly 10 minutes. Su Mu felt the care of the three women, and her heart was warm. People need warmth, and it feels so good to be cared by beautiful women. I'm fine, I just asked for some information, which was delayed. The three women breathed a sigh of relief, but they continued to check and released Su-hee only after confirming that there was no group. At the same time, the three women were also a little depressed. In the battle just now, they couldn't intervene at all, and they didn't even have the qualifications to assist. Powerless, helpless, useless, all kinds of negative emotions flooded the hearts of the three women. Do you have a career card? I want to become stronger. Qin Fangfang timidly said what was in her heart. This is also the idea of the other two. Now they are eager to obtain a job and learn skills. Only in this way can they reluctantly become Su Emu's assistants and share some of the fighting pressure for him. If the future battles are at this level, then they will really become big vases that can only be seen. 2 cards, one for Locke and one for Qin Fangfang. One for each of you. After finishing speaking, Su Mu looked at Chi Yu. You're out of luck, without you. Fine. Su Mu picked up a perfect long sword from the ground. Obtain. Long sword butterfly, perfect level. There used to be a group of beautiful butterflies who cast themselves into swords in order to protect their people. This is the sword that woman Long Kangshuan is about to stab her. Unfortunately, in this kind of battle, a perfect sword is useless at all. Perfect level weapon, let's play with it. Su Mu put the sword into Chi Yu's hand, then looked around. Poor. This island is really poor. Su Mu took 3 women to the south, where stood a big stone, about 2 meters high, 1 meter long, with a clear spring on top of the stone. Why do you say that? There was some milky white liquid inside. Su Mu took out a straw again and sucked the liquid inside into his mouth. Why say again? Su Mu just remembered, isn't the way her tortoise produces Aethernite the same way? Ether liquid plus soul power. Gilt snow milk plus physical fitness, that is, blood value. It's matching. Acquisition. Gilded snow milkstone *1. Consumption. Wood and animal cores can produce gilded snow milk, and consumption can also increase physical fitness and improve physical fitness. Su Mu nodded and moved the big stone into the ark. It's nothing, let's go. Su Mu boarded the ark, filled the ark with animal cores, and headed for the depths of the ocean. As for the 2 epic blueprints sent by the system, Su Mu ignored them. The manufacture of epic level items requires a lot of precious materials, and you can only be greedy after seeing them, and you can't make them at all. Soon he saw the first island of bones. Heel Island, the beacon of the Forbidden Area. Dragon Clan Forbidden Land is in another space, and only through the guidance of beacons can we not get lost. Note: do not approach the islands lightly. These islands are dead dragons. They are buried here. If there is no special matter, it is better not to disturb these dead. The ark seemed to break through some barrier, and the world suddenly fell into dead silence. It's a sea of death. Su Mu let out a sigh of relief from her brows, feeling her scalp tingling. It was so quiet, no sea breeze or sound of waves. Some only have blue sky. Su Mu drove the ark all the way forward and finally came to the vicinity of the 12th island. Suddenly, no sound came. Little guy, come here. Su Mu was taken aback because the 6th sense didn't warn her in advance. This is the first time. He was looking at the other 3 women, sitting there quietly, not even daring to breathe. They didn't hear. There is the soul of the ancient dragon calling for you. He was very powerful during his lifetime, but he died in the years. However, the soul is immortal, the consciousness is immortal, and you can't really die. You come to the forbidden area of the Dragon Clan to sleep forever and guard the forbidden area. No malice, you can go. Location: Skeleton Beacon 12. Ah, wouldn't this be a windfall too? Su Mu approached with the ark, and at the same time, a huge skeleton dragon protruded out of the sea. Su Mu smacked her lips. This thing is actually alive. Hee, I'm dead, but my remnant soul is immortal and my will is immortal. 0. Su Mu asked Chi Yu to control the ark and climbed onto it by herself. The two approached slowly. Su Mu waved at Ji Yu Long, and greeted him politely and without embarrassment. Hello. Whoa, are you all made of bones? Cool, an old voice sounded in Su Mu's mind. Haha, after all these years, he was the first to say that I was cool. The bone dragon slowly floated up from the sea water. It was a skeleton as huge as a mountain, and its appearance resembled a Chinese dragon. But there are a pair of strange bony wings on its back. Bone dragon has no expression, but Su Mu feels that this guy is very happy. No malice, don't be nervous, relax. You actually have a pair of wings. Are you the legendary Yinglong? No, Yinglong is taking care of his son in his hometown. My name is Dragon God Tai. Speaking of which, little guy, I feel the breath of a dragon in you. Su Mu pondered for a moment and explained. Maybe it's because I drank 3 drops of lizard blood. That lizard has a part of the breath of a dragon. Bone dragon shook his head. Suddenly a green flame burned in his empty eye sockets. Then the whole keel burned. No, it's the breath from the soul. The magic sea is very mysterious. You can temper and become stronger here, but the magic sea will not touch the soul of any living being. You are born with the breath of a dragon. Hee, I see. I'm so lucky. You and I are destined. Let me give you a gift. It's a gift to the younger generation. Su Mu scratched his head. How should I put it? Looking at this bone dragon, he had a feeling of looking at his ancestors. A little scared, but also felt like meeting family. Dragon God Tai has a blood relationship with your ancestors. Ah, what a coincidence. Chapter 81. Came to the forbidden land of the dragon clan and even recognized an ancestor. For a while, Su Mu didn't know whether it was a good thing or a bad thing. Which of your ancestors who fell in love with dragons should you thank? All right. 4 rays of light flew to Su Mu. A closer look revealed 4 drops of blood of different color. Yellow, red, blue, white. Little guy, I think your blood is not pure. You can't even be considered a dragon man, so these 4 drops of dragon blood are given to you. This kind of thing can change your physique and improve your future ceiling. I suggest you use it when you obtain the dragon soul, it will have better results. Su Mu reached out and took the 4 drops of blood. Obtain. Origin Dragon Blood Hyphenation Point Earth. Obtain. Origin Dragon Blood Fire. Acquisition. Original Dragon Blood Water. Obtain. Original Dragon Blood Hyphenation Point Wind. System prompt. The dragon is a powerful and perfect creature. If you get the original dragon blood, you can get the power of the dragon, 3 to 5. Note. The 4 original dragon bloods can only be used by those who have the blood of the dragon Tai, otherwise they will be eroded by the power of the dragon god and become a monster that looks like a human and a dragon. Another thing that improves one's own strength, and also improves the upper limit of the future. Su Mu pondered for a while and asked, Master Shenlongtai, I would like to ask, I will go to the forbidden land of the dragon clan to select the dragon soul, can you give me a recommendation? The bone dragon sank slowly into the sea. Follow your 6th sense, trust your own judgment, and remember that above the sea of magic, only you can be trusted. Su Mu nodded and bowed to the island in front of her. This is his ancestor, and it is not a loss to worship the ancestor. After doing all this, Su Mu drove the ark away. When Su Mu left, the entire sea area is still quiet, but the inside has exploded, and spiritual messages are transmitted in the void. Congratulations Tai, you have met a descendant. Yi has a little blood, but this blood is too thin, I don't know how many generations. It's good enough to have one. Don't be so picky. If there are clansmen who have descendants, it proves that Big Brother Tai is very lucky. The person just now has the body protection of supreme luck. Supreme luck is a very rare thing. There is no regret. This life is worth it. Yes, but why doesn't this child belong to our family? Hey, other people's children, sweet. Su Mu drove the ark to the 13th island. Near the 13th island, a beam of light could be clearly seen shooting out from the distant sea. The sea water here is also very clear, and you can see the water surface tens of meters below. Below, Chi Yu pointed at the sea surface in amazement. There is a huge island below them. This island is tens of meters under the sea, protected by a huge transparent energy shield. You can see there is not a drop of water in it. Su Mu manipulated the ark to dive slowly. The island was about 50 meters away, so the whale approached the island easily. Stop, there are gatekeepers. A pair of eyes opened, and Tumi's long blue dragon came out. This is the forbidden area of the dragon clan. Those who make troubles should stop. If you come to find opportunities, please show your proof. Su Mu took out the scale of the black sky dragon and shook it. Ah, my friend, can you come out? I can't see you clearly in this thing. Su Mu shook her head. I was able to get out, but as soon as I opened the hatch, everything inside was destroyed. Sorry, you can't come in. Su Mu was silent for a moment. This dragon recognized the scales, but also felt the breath of the original dragon blood, and wanted to snatch it. Besides, he wanted to buy something just now, but was rejected by his wife. He was upset and was going to take out his anger on you. Take the arc and hit it. Your arc is level 5, and its defense is amazing, enough to survive the strangulation of this dragon. After entering Dragon Island, use big moves to kill him. Su Mu let out a grin, and drove the arc directly into it. Hey, what are you doing? How dare you break in? Do you know what this place is? How dare you break into it? Su Mu's complexion was gloomy and cold. This forbidden land of the Dragon Clan had its own opportunity at first glance, and those who blocked it were directly listed as its enemies. The huge whale collided with the dragon with endless force, and the latter was pulled back like a hemp rope. You got into a catastrophe, do you know? Stop for me, do you hear me? Trespassing on the forbidden area of the Dragon Clan, you are doomed. Hee, a weak chicken Jiaolong, just a watchdog. If you hit him, you will hit him, and no one will care if you kill him. Hun Dan, I'm going to kill you. In the end, Fang Zhou led the dragon into the barrier and entered the forbidden area of the Dragon Clan. After a slight tremor, the arc stopped in midair. There is no gravity outside, go up and beat him. Su Mu kicked open the gate of the arc, came outside, and pressed a light blade between the eyebrows of the blue dragon. The scolding disappeared instantly. Zhao Kuangyan looked at the sword with a cute face. System prompt. Zhao Kuangyan, with a combat power of 50,000, a bully and fear of strength. Note: the monsters in the novice area of the Magic Sea, except for the final guardians in each area, will not have a combat power higher than 100,000. Call. There was a smell of meat, and Jiaolong's eyebrows were tested. Zhao Kuang pulled a paw and pointed down. Do you know where this is? This is the forbidden land of the Dragon Clan. And then, Su Mu swung his sword and cut it down. Puff. Ah, help, kill the dragon. Zhao Kuangya managed to dodge in time, only one layer of skin was peeled off. Su Mu waited quietly, but no dragon came out. This dragon is very good, but he is domineering, causing anger and grievances. The Dragon Clan prohibits self-mutilation, so he was not killed by other dragons. Come on, no one will help him, go on, kill him, you will get the friendship of the owner of the dragon shop. Su Mu was speechless. There's nothing more to say now, let's go. The magic armor is coming. The flowing armor covered the whole body, and Su Mu rushed up directly. There is no gravity here. Su Mu took out his flying skateboard and easily caught up with Zhao Kuangya. At this time, Zhao Kuangya crawled around like a loach. This is a waste that only has fighting power but can't fight, just cut it directly. Su Mu went up, raised the sword and dropped it. Ah. Obtain. Advanced Beast Core 1. Obtain. Excellent Dragon Skin 1. Obtained. Excellent Dragon Meat * 20. Obtain. Excellent Keel 10. Obtained. Dragon Blood Excellent Quality * 3000 milliliters. Su Mu put away her things and looked behind her. This person is a guardian, and his strength is unfathomable by 3.5. An old man was staring at Su Mu with a smile on his face. He had a dragon head and a body, just like the Dragon King enshrined in the temple. My name is Long Zan, the owner of the dragon shop. Little guy, do you have a certificate? Su Mu took out a black reverse scale and handed it over. Oh, not bad, the reverse scale of the Black Sky Demon Dragon, the top certificate. Long Zan put away the scales and made a gesture of invitation. Please come with me, let's trade quickly, and I have to go to a dance here. Su Mu turned her head to look at the direction of the battle just now, and there was still a smell of meat there. But the old man's eyes never stopped there. Too many people, no one cares about life and death. Su Mu stepped on a skateboard and followed the old man to the center of the island. There is a log cabin here. Opening the door, Su Mu was immediately shocked by the view inside. This Is your home a vegetable cellar? This is a log cabin with a counter inside and 2 stools in front of the counter. On the wall behind the counter is a large billboard with the prices of various dragon souls written on it. There is a counter next to it, which is full of glasses, some of which are drinks, but more of them are flesh and blood. Among them, the 4 expensive dragon souls need the reverse scale of the Black Sky Demon Dragon. You can choose one at will. Of course, you don't need to look at the bottom ones. For the top 4, just pick one at random. Su Mu looked up. The top ones are Diamond Star Dragon, Hell Pluto Dragon, Elemental Fairy Dragon, Ancient Armored Dragon. These 4, in turn, correspond to fighters, conjurers, elementalists, and meat shields. Diamond Star Dragon, you are a human being, you must have a strong physical body to carry unlimited power. You also have warrior authority, so Diamond Star Dragon is the most suitable for you. Diamond Star Dragon, okay, I'm not surprised by this at all, except for this, you can't choose anything else, and if you choose, I won't sell it. While speaking, Long Zan handed over a cup, which contained a liquid like a starry sky. Su Mu took the cup, looked at the old man, and smiled. This old man has a very good heart. I am afraid that you will delay your future by choosing the wrong one. Thank you. Speaking of, I just found out that you are very handsome. I hope you can meet a good dance partner at the dance tonight. Long Zan was taken aback for a moment, then looked up to the sky and laughed. Oh, little guy, you're very nice, and I actually feel that you didn't say anything against your will. Well, I'll give you something. As he spoke, Long Zan took out another cup, which contained red blood. Epic level, the blood of the savage dragon. After drinking it, you can gain some strength and increase the body host. The stronger your own strength, the less the increase. You have the original dragon blood that the Lord gave you, so you won't need it anymore, but those of your partners who want to use the power system, you can use it for them. Su Mu looked happy. He was still worried about Qin Fangfang's low physical fitness before, but now the problem has been solved. Grateful, Su Mu didn't refuse. She came to the door and took out some things. Old man, don't you mind if I upgrade my skills here? Don't mind, you can do whatever you want. Consumption. Magic Armor Enchanted Book 4, Perfect Warrior Price Promotion Card 1, Diamond Star Dragon Dragon Soul 1. System Prompt. The host's physical body is too weak, forcible fusion will damage the physical body. Consume 4 drops of original dragon blood, which can be perfectly integrated. Is it consumed? Consumption. A bright beam of light tore through the sky, and the 3 women sat on the ark, staring blankly. Above the sky, a dragon made of diamonds descended from the sky. Then, 4 dragons of different colors emerged from the sky and gathered towards Su Mu's body. The 4 dragons represent earth, fire, water and wind respectively. Is it so powerful? The 3 women felt a little worried. They understood that Su Mu was getting stronger every day. The rich rely on technology, the poor rely on mutation, and he has them all. This is a good thing, but they will be pulled farther and farther away, and in the end, they can only help clean up on Su Mu's boat. Skill Demon Armor Descending has been upgraded. Demon Armor Advent Mutation Upgrade. Dragon Armor Advent IV4. Dragon Armor Descends. All attributes increase 4 times, block attributes plus 100. The additional increase of defense asterisk 100%, the additional increase of the power of warrior weapons by 100%, the single increase of 100% of sword weapons superimposed with the damage of warrior weapons. Consumption of summoning, 30 blood points and 30 soul power per second. Su Mu sucked in a breath of air. This increase was not as strong as usual. More importantly, the summoning time limit has been cancelled, which means that as long as you have blood and soul power, you can roam freely. Talent obtained. Perfect Warrior, increases the basic combat power of the host by 100%, increases with the increase of the host's strength, increases the damage of warrior type skills by 100%, and increases the damage of mixed injury skills by 50%. Acquire the exclusive skill of the Perfect Warrior, Air Breaking Nirvana Slash. Breakthrough and Nirvana Slash. A single target skill that consumes 60% of the energy and blood to slash the enemy at the moment of approach, causing 1000% damage. The stronger the host, the higher the damage. Powerful, perfect, but the consumption is a bit scary. 60%, and adding a yin and yang ion blade will directly empty the blood, so it must be used with caution in the future. Su Mu opened her own introduction. Su Mu. Combat power. 108,000. Blood value. 7,000. Soul power. 8,000. Except for the weapon boost, the combat power of the main body has been tripled, and the vitality and soul have been doubled. It seems that this is the boost of the original dragon blood. Su Mu 1-1, punching out a fist. I feel like I can kill a cow, just looking at the armor. Summon dragon armor. In the next second, gorgeous armor covered Su Mu's whole body. The dragon head helmet made of light golden metal, the dragon claw shoulder pads, the thick shield-like chest pad, the dragon scale gauntlets, and the combat boots that almost reached the knees. Behind him was a silver-white metallic cloak, with mysterious pale gold magic patterns trimmed on the edge of the cloak. What remains is the silver-white tight-scale armor. It feels like I've changed my skin. Su Mu swung a fist, the wind of the fist was overflowing, and the power was several times stronger than before. It took so much effort to fight the shield warrior Wu Kunyan before, and he used the ion blade to consume it, and he used the blue dragon chant to break the armor. Now, he can be killed in a single punch. Long Zan watched silently from the side, and suddenly smiled and reminded. Boy, look at the time, every store will not exist for too long. Oh. Su Mu quickly took out his pocket watch to check the remaining time on the island. Hey, let's take the field and divide the crops. Master Long, I'm leaving first, I wish you a happy night at 720, bye. After speaking, Su Mu drove away at high speed on the flying skateboard. Long Zan smiled, turned and entered the door. It's better to be young. Su Mu came to the ark, drove the ark away from the island, and then floated towards the sea. Soon, the sun appeared. Su Mu looked around, but found that she was in an unfamiliar sea. Wait, treasure map. Su Mu quickly opened the treasure map, but found that the location of the treasure map was still a little away from her current location. And not far away, a huge island stands. The mysterious island is a good place to hide treasures. There are a lot of resources on it, and there are also the inheritance gates you are looking for. But it is also very dangerous and requires careful attention. There may be poisonous bees on it. Su Mu breathed a sigh of relief. Fortunately, I didn't miss the treasure map, so let's do it today and talk about it tomorrow. He took out the excellent grade dragon meat and handed it to Chi Yu. Let's not eat meat tonight, it's almost night, I guess the milk fruit on the second floor is about to ripen. Eat some vegetarian food tonight. I've been eating a lot of meat lately. I feel like I'm getting fat. He took out the blood of the wild dragon and handed it to Qin Fangfang. Drinking your dragon blood can improve your physical fitness, well, you will be a big shield warrior in the future. Suddenly, the sixth sense sent a warning. Someone is approaching the ark. As soon as Su Mu looked up, she saw 4 arcs surrounding them, obviously belonging to the same team. What's the situation? You came out of the forbidden area of the dragon clan and suddenly appeared, frightening the people around you. Someone is trying to board the ship. Zhou Feng stood on his own ark, watching the big whale. This whale actually has a sci-fi feel to it, not plausible. Could it be a relic? That would be really cool. In this world, many people have encountered ruins, and each ruin has some good things. Suddenly, a cover opened above the whale, and a person got out. The 4 of them were taken aback. Su Mu breathed the sea breeze and looked around. How many? What's the situation? Afterwards, Eagle Sauce also got out, holding a mechanical eye in its claws, flapped its wings, and flew towards the distant island. It's on a reconnaissance mission. An eagle's howl shook the sky, directly frightening the 4 people. Zhao Chuan next to him recognized Su Mu and exclaimed. Boss Su, is it really you? Hey, why did you appear out of thin air? It's scary. Su Mu also recognized Zhao Chuan, who sold his perfect fighter card back then, so he remembered his name. Well, I went to a forbidden place, just came out, why are you here? Zhao Chuan smiled shyly. Boss, we saw an island in front of us, so we decided to go up and have a look. Su Mu pointed at the giant island in the distance and shook his head. You're so disgusting, I feel that it's dangerous. If you go up, I'm afraid you won't even be able to leave the scum behind. Zhao Chuan scratched his head in embarrassment. Suddenly, the person next to him let out an exclamation. Boss Su, how did your combat power double? Zhao Chuan was startled, turned on the system, and saw that Su Mu's combat power had risen to 100,000. Su Mu nodded and said nothing. The sixth sense feels that the 4 original sources of dragon blood have not been fully digested, and the combat power should still increase, but his body needs to be balanced. Due to a protection mechanism, Su Mu's combat power is stuck at the point of 108,000. Boss Su, didn't you use that perfect warrior card degree? Zhao Chuan's eyes became terrified. The difficulty of using that upgrade card, they fell down. If Su Mu can use that card, hey, it's scary to think about it. The first fighter authority, double god level talent. The way Zhao Chuan looked at Su Mu changed immediately. This is not a man, but a future god. Su Mu pressed her hand. Quiet, don't talk nonsense, otherwise I don't mind killing people. The other 4 immediately stopped talking, but the waves in their hearts continued for a long time. I'm so shocked, is the person in front of me really a human? Is it really not the reincarnation of a god? I came out to tell you, don't hang around my ark, I'm annoying. After saying that, Su Mu turned around and entered the ark. This person sold his warrior card, but there is no need to pay too much attention to it. It was just a transaction. The milk fruit tree has matured, and the whole second floor milk fragrance is wanton. Chi Yu counted, and in 2 days, a total of 16 milk fruits grew, but unfortunately they were a bit small, about the size of an apple. If 4 people eat 2 meals, they will be gone. If they are greedy, they will be gone after 1 meal. Chi Yu took out a fruit knife, cut and pierced the milk fruit, and released the white fruit milk inside. Even more milky. After putting 2 milk fruits, I got a cup of fruit milk. This time a total of 4 milk fruits were consumed. The pulp of milk fruit. It is a kind of filament-like bread, which is soft and elastic when pinched. There is a layer of white milk film at the position where the fruit milk is wrapped, cut off the milk film. Chi Yu took some rice, which was snatched from the goblin village and was of excellent quality. Wrap the rice with white milk film, put it in a small iron pot. Raise a pile of firewood and start cooking. Soon, the aroma of rice filled with milk flavor filled the whole ark. 4 more potatoes were dug out of the potato field, a bit behind the times, so these potatoes were slightly smaller. Let Qin Fangfang bake the potatoes. Taking advantage of the time, Chi Yu took out a piece of lean meat and bought some condiments and sauces from the trading area, and began to prepare it. After the potatoes are cooked, put Chi Yu's special sauce on it, and a simple plate of mashed potatoes is ready. Always stuffy in the ark, Su Mu felt that the air was a bit stale. So they decided to eat outside, opened the gate and skylight of the ark, and the 4 of them came to the top of the ark. William Locke was in charge of placing the tables, and Qin Ruro was in charge of the work. Chi Yu took out the Chinese cabbage that Su Mu stole back then, boiled a little oil out of wild pork, mixed it with a little chili oil, and made a simple plate of spicy cabbage. Zhou Fang stared blankly at the ark in the distance, and Zhao Chuan went up and slapped him on the forehead. What's going on, brother? Boss Su doesn't like being looked at by others, don't you know? There are beauties. Hearing this, Zhao Chuan turned his head and stared blankly. William Locke is stretching on the top of the ark, his graceful body line is fascinating. Ahem, women, as long as you have strength, you will have them in the future. Zhao Chuan himself was not confident in saying this. Ha ha, Zhou Fang is very self-aware. Boss, I hope to be able to reach Boss Su's current level within a year, that's all. Zhou Wu next to him poured cold water on him rudely. Quote. You can't afford to support 1 woman, and you still want to support 3. Ha ha, people always have dreams. Zhao Chuan shook his head. Eat, our dinner today is fine-grade flesh and blood. The 4 of them were halfway through the meal when suddenly a strong aroma of food hit. Immediately, I felt that the meat in my hand was not fragrant. Turning around, I saw a table set up on the top of the opposite ark. It came with rice, bread, milk, mashed potatoes, kimchi, and a bottle of wine. Zhu Oming swallowed. Brother Zhao, I want to eat too. Zhao Chuan was speechless. In fact, he also wanted to eat, but in this poor place, it would be nice to have a bite. The 4 of them ate high-quality flesh and blood every day, which was top-notch in the entire survival team, but compared to Su Mu, it wasn't even scum. They won't do, bye. There are no vegetables sold in the whole world. As for grabbing, the combined combat power of the four of them is less than a fraction of that of Su Mu. Don't worry, radish guang de jiao bu and green vegetables, there will always be some in the future. What we eat now is fine-grade flesh and blood, which is already a top-notch ingredient. At this moment, Ying Zhang came back from scouting. A female voice sounded. Ying sauce, let's be vegetarian tonight. I specially made a perfect barbecue for you, it's on the shelf, Zawang. Zhou Wu next to him couldn't help coughing a few times and almost choked to death. Zhuo Ming said in a sour voice, people are more dead than people, and every bird they eat is better than us. Suddenly, Zhuo Ming's hand trembled, and the meat fell to the deck. What's the matter again? Zhao Chuan was very dissatisfied. Can this dumpling be allowed today? Brother Zhao, I seem to have seen a mermaid. Yes, it is indeed a mermaid. In the distance, just as Qi Yu sat down with Alice in his arms, a group of people were already preparing for dinner. Zhou Wu smacked his mouth twice, feeling a little bitter. Brother Zhao, let's go and eat somewhere else. I'm worried that if I stay here any longer, I'll die of jealousy. The four had dinner. Milk fruit resembles bread, it tastes sweet, soft, and has a faint milky aroma. It really tastes like top-notch bread. After many days, this is the first time that everyone tasted the taste of vegetables. Cool. After eating meat for many days, I feel my soul has been sublimated by eating a delicious vegetarian meal. There are sea monsters lurking under the ark of those four people. Su Mu narrowed her eyes slightly and pondered for a while. Putting down the chopsticks for eating, I decided to help. Open the private chat channel and contact Zhao Chuan. Let your arc towards me, there is a big guy under your arc. When Zhao Chuan got the news, he was shocked and almost panicked. If someone else said this, he might doubt it, but Su Mu wouldn't. Because Su Mu has no reason to harm them, property. Su Mu is 10 times richer than them. Don't move around, don't startle it, lean towards me slowly. Zhao Chuan passed the news of Su Mu to the other three. Everyone stabilize your emotions first, calm down a bit. Boss Su said that there is something under our ark, so it is 80% successful. Everyone, be careful, drive the boat towards Boss Su, and absolutely don't disturb the monsters below. The four arcs turned around slowly, and casually swam towards Su Mu. As if they were going to be wandering around. The sea monster resembles a human being and belongs to Murlocs. Combat power, 34,000. In the long-term exploration of the island, it is easy to forget that this is the magic sea, and the dangers from the sea are the most terrifying. A mermaid like Alice. It's not a mermaid, but another monster that likes to kill. Just when they were 20 meters away from Su Mu's arc. Suddenly, Zhuo Ming's arc was hit by something, and it flew to a position of several meters. An alarm came from Zhuo Ming's system. The arc is damaged, the arc is damaged, the arc is damaged. Zhuo Ming is also a ruthless person. See, something is wrong. The arc was closed immediately, and the whole person fell from a high altitude. At this moment, a green figure rushed out of the water, collided with Zhuo Ming, and one arm was torn off. Zhuo Ming screamed and fell into the sea. The green figure also rushed into the sea, and a string of water splashes chased Zhuo Ming. Rush forward, maybe there is still a chance to save someone. The sixth sense can perceive oneself, but it is still a bit weak in predicting the situation of others. Dragon armor calling. The armor covered Su Mu's body like flowing water. Flying skateboard. Stepping on the B-Boj flying skateboard to the sea level, he grabbed Zhuo Ming who fell into the water. He took out the elemental hand crossbow, shot out an arrow, and the ice arrow froze everything around him. Su Mu smashed the ice with a slap, picked up the severed hand and picked it up. Hand over the person and hand to Zhao Chuan who rushed over. Take him to the ark, there will be rescue. Su Mu stepped on the flying skateboard and rushed into the sea. Under the sparkling sea, a green monster glared at Su Mu. Seems to be blaming Su Mu for stealing his food. This is a humanoid monster with a shiny and slippery body and a tall meal with scales on its back. It has the head of a fish, with a pair of huge protruding eyeballs that will not close. The long hands and feet are webbed. Murloc Clayton. A murloc from the depths of the ocean, with strong muscles, he can knock a small boat tens of meters away with one punch. Don't ignore this guy's intelligence just because of his simple and honest appearance, his IQ is the same. Very tall, belonging to the intelligent race. Smart race, then you can understand what I say. Murloc Clater made a rattling sound. Humble humans, offer your sacrifices to the great demon sea. Su Mu raised the elemental hand crossbow. Underwater, the power of the hand crossbow could not be exerted too much, but it was enough. Arrows of electricity. Su Mu's idea is to fill the sea area around him with thunder, and directly stun this guy. Ah, ah, ah. A terrifying thunder erupted. Su Mu's great defense ability ignored the thunder and lightning. Laika was so shocked that he wanted to escape, but his body was paralyzed and he couldn't even move his little finger. Su Mu walked through the lightning and came to Clyde. He punched Claret on the head, knocking him unconscious. Intelligent races can save to gather some intelligence first, used to measure future risk. Su Mu went back to the top of the ark, took out the dragon tendons of the excellent level, tied the guy tightly, and continued to eat. Please, who can save my brother? Chi Yu stepped forward, looked at the wound, and frowned. I can, but there will be a fee. No matter what their answer is, the rain will save. This sentence is Chi Yu's test for these people, because Su Mu once reminded this group of people, which means that he doesn't hate these people, and there may be cooperation in the future. But if they choose not to pay and save people, Chi Yu will feel that this group of people is inhuman. She would advise Su Mu not to associate with these people. Money is fine, what do you want? Zhao Chuan took out 2 perfect level blueprints. If the blueprints are gone, they can be opened again. If they are exhausted, they will really be gone. Do you think these 2 blueprints are enough? If not, can I owe you first? I'll give it to you in a few days. Chi Yu nodded slightly. This person is quite righteous and has a good heart. At this time, Chi Yu had already connected Zuo Ming's arm, and took a low-level healing potion and fed it. The power of the healing potion is not enough to completely cure it. Chi Yu cast 2 healing spells to make sure the arm was fine. The rest of the work is handed over to Alice, and the little mermaid frantically shoots healing bubbles. The little guy's soul power is amazing, and it took 10 minutes to stop. Zuo Ming's arm could barely move, but he felt a faint pain. Clenched fists lightly. The pain will become more pronounced. If you want to return to normal, you need 2 or 3 treatments. The 3 elders watched all this with a stupefied look. It's a magical power. Zhao Chuan didn't dare to look at Alice, for fear of being greedy. There are big bosses here, and once they are found to be wrong, killing them is no different from crushing an ant to death. Boss Su, do you think these 2 blueprints can be used as medical expenses? Zhao Chuan handed Su Mu 2 drawings. Discovery. Perfect woodworking axe, an axe specially designed for cutting trees, can cut excellent wood. Discovery. Perfect mine pick blueprint, a special mine pick that can dig out excellent mine veins. Su Mu accepted the 2 blueprints, then went to the side of the Murloc, took out a basin of seawater and poured it on the Murloc's face. Claret was woken up by the splash of seawater, and after waking up, there was a burst of chattering. Do you know who I am? I am the son of the Murloc. If you want to touch me, you are tired of work, you ********************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************** Su Mu went up with 3 punches and 2 kicks, took out the tang knife, and was about to chop off the Murloc's neck. And many more. Claire stared wide-eyed. Why don't you ask the question you want first, big brother, and then let me go, how about it? You can promise him. This Murloc is protected by great luck and can cause a little disturbance to you, and there are shadows of other forces behind it. Learn about other races and plan for the future. The combat power in the novice area should not exceed 100,000. I still need to prepare for the future. What is it? Race. Su Mu sighed softly, pulled a chair over and sat down. Let's talk. First tell me, where are you from? The 7th Sea region, Senluo Sea City. Su Mu thought to herself, sure enough. Good place. In the future, I have to go and rob it. Why are you here? Hearing this, Claret looked aggrieved. I was kicked out of the house by my old man and had to wander around. I happened to see a small boat on the sea, so I became playful. When Zhao Chuan heard this, he came up and kicked 2 feet, and said angrily. You play almost killed my brother. Claire looked up at the sky, his eyes wandering. Who would have thought that he was so weak? The 4 bosses were completely helpless. What the Murloc said was unreasonable, but it was true. He is lying. Su Mu pulled out a lightsaber from the air, and pressed it against Clay's neck. Lie in front of me, I admire your courage. Ah, it hurts, it hurts. Stop howling, you are not a husky. Su Mu withdrew the sword and ignored the 4 people who were already looking dumbfounded. Come and tell me why you came here, otherwise I don't mind playing something real. Clyde rolled his eyes and said with a flattering smile. Ah, big brother, listen to me, it's like this. The Murloc rolls his eyes, either lying or trying to be a demon. He glanced at the giant island, his target was on the island. He is fearless, it proves that there are other Murlocs around. Another Murloc came under the ark, catch it, and kill chickens to make an example to monkeys. Dragon armor comes. Su Mu drove the flying skateboard into the water, splashing a lot of water. 10 seconds later, a Murloc was thrown onto the ark page. But this Su Mu is not polite. He went up and chopped off the head of the fish in front of Clet. Obtain. Beast Core 1. I know you are stubborn, so I don't bother to ask. After speaking, Su Shu cut it down with a single knife. Claret hurriedly shouted. Wait, let me tell you, there is a special inheritance gate on it, which can activate a special profession, so we sealed off the island and don't want anyone to enter. Su Mu snorted coldly and chopped off with a single blow. Claret was not reconciled, he was thinking why he hadn't lied to Su Mu. Obtain. Beast Core 1. It is said that you Murlocs look simple and honest, but are actually very smart, but why do I think you are so stupid? Or are you too smart? I've given you so many chances, can't you see that I'm judging if you're lying? Su Mu's 6th sense only needs some specific information to find traces. After all this tossing, although I didn't get the most important part, I have already understood the general idea. A special inheritance gate. It seems that the goal of these Murlocs is the inheritance gate. The special inheritance gate is very precious, and it can cause a race to peep. Su Mu stroked her chin and looked at the giant island in the distance. It looks like I have to go. Now, it's almost dark. Chi Yu asked worriedly. Su Mu turned to look at the other 4. I'm leaving, you guys should leave as soon as possible, I feel that this place is getting more and more dangerous. The 4 of Zhao Chuan looked at each other, exploring with Su Mu, they would always get good things. But obviously Su Mu didn't want them to follow, so he got off the ark and headed in another direction. They paddled very slowly, turning their heads a few meters away, expecting Su Mu to stop them. Su Mu took out the mechanical eye that Yingzhong brought back, and turned on the holographic projection. The scenery of a giant island appeared in front of everyone. About 10 kilometers in diameter, the entire island is covered by forests, and there are a total of dilapidated ruins in the forest. One of the ruins has already been explored. In the very center of the forest stands a huge ancient tree, about 100 meters high, with a canopy covering a square kilometer. The strange ancient tree is suspected to be the gate of immortal inheritance, which can be used as the foundation of a race. Very special, can exist for a long time, and can provide various professional permissions. However, it is impossible to provide ultra-precious professional permissions, such as warriors and magicians. Immortal level. What level? A level above the god level. The special level of special props is independent of other levels. Su Mu made a decision and decided to land on the island now. Drive the ark close to the island, and come to Sunpian Beach. The crowd followed Su Mu to the island and found many footprints similar to duck feet. It seems that the Murlocs have already landed. Su Mu stroked her footprints and opened her 6th sense. Murlocs, the combat power will not exceed 50,000. Touch another footprint. Murloc, the combat power will not exceed 1008. After exploring, Su Mu got a general idea of the strength of this group of Murlocs. About 13 Murlocs, 1 Murloc with a combat power of 50,000 is the leader, and 4 Murlocs with a combat power of 20,000 are the fighting zone. There are also 8 small Murlocs with a combat power of no more than 2,000. They are burly, and they are guessed to be porters. Su Mu stretched out her hand to feel the sea breeze, the wind was very small and very humid. There is a taste of water magic, judgment, Murlocs cannot survive on land for a long time. The leader should be an owner of water magic authority, responsible for the survival of this group of Murlocs on the coast. If this leader can be killed in seconds, the other Murlocs will be vulnerable. Summoning Eagle Sauce to investigate, Sumu quickly found the whereabouts of the Murlocs through the special connection between the beasts. Oh, a group of green-skinned Murlocs are heading towards the distant ruins. If you find the target, you can start hunting. The three women hid in the ark every day. Sumu walked towards the forest. Yingzhong was circling in the sky. With strong physical fitness, Sumu quickly caught up with the Murloc team. This is a team of 13 people. The leader in armor is in the middle, surrounded by 4 guards. There are 2 normal Murlocs around each guard. The team is arranged in an orderly manner, and they are not rushing, just like an army. It is not the first time they have gone ashore. Don't attack yet, hide in the dark and collect information. This inheritance door requires special means to open. The leader of the Murlocs, Nakanji, stretched out a hand, with a blue gem lying on the palm. The gemstone emits a light blue light, producing a thick mist that fills the surroundings. That gemstone is a water magic item. Capturing it can greatly weaken the battle of this group of Murlocs. Nakanj suddenly asked, "Has that kid Clayton come back yet?" Murloc guard Jameson replied respectfully, "No, maybe something happened. Should we send someone to look for it?" Naganji stretched out a hand, staring at the looming ruins in the distance. "Don't worry about it. If you die, you will die. The most important thing is to seize the gate of inheritance. This is a treasure of the foundation of the race, nothing can happen." Sumu hides in the dark, peeking at all this with a powerful sixth sense. Naganji didn't notice it, and started talking on his own, as if he was showing off his knowledge to the Murlocs next to him. And because of this, Sumu heard a very precious information. "Let me tell you, the gate of inheritance on this island is a treasure of the foundation of the race. This door of inheritance, as long as you have a professional authority card, you can activate the corresponding professional authority through this door." Nabanji was elated and beaming with joy. Finding a racial treasure for a race is quite a dignified thing. You can hide yourself and steal their information. This old man is now emotional, and he will definitely not be found if he asks questions in the common language of the Magic Sea. Sumu activated the stealth function of the phantom military uniform, and came quietly among the fish crowd. Maybe it was dark, maybe it's luck. None of the Murlocs noticed their side, and there was an invisible thing. "My lord, what are the important treasures of the race's foundation?" Suemu's muscles were tense, his breathing was heavy, and he was always ready to enter the fighting state. 8-2. Once discovered, he will immediately unleash a ferocious blow, knocking the group of Murlocs down. Naganji looked around, but he didn't find anyone who made the noise, but he still nodded in satisfaction. This young man asked a good question, but before answering the question, I want to reiterate that my name is Elder Jia. Don't say my lord. That's a title for a king. It's easy for others to think I'm planning to rebel. The old man is happy. Continue with him. Okay, Master Jia who knows everything. Naganji's mouth was almost cracked to the base of his ears. He secretly said in his heart, this kid is not bad, his mouth is sweet. I'm here to tell you people who don't know much about what is a racial treasure. It's easy for a person to survive in the Demon Sea, but it's very difficult for a race. What is the most important thing for a race to survive in the Demon Sea? Let's talk about it. Naganji kept it a secret on purpose, but when no one answered, he raised his head proudly. The first is the enchanted book, the second is the professional authority, and the third is an unsinkable island. But these things are extremely precious materials, and many races do not have the ability to produce these three things. An enchanting table is needed to make an enchanted book. The enchanting table is the first race treasure, only found in some ancient ruins. If there is no enchanting table, then you can only go to the Magic Sea to collect it. But the vast sea of magic. The crisis is infinite, and it is quite difficult to collect enough enchanted books for a race. Unsinkable islands are easier to deal with. The islands produced by the Magic Sea will eventually sink one day, but the creations of civilization will not. As he spoke, Naganji stopped talking, and looked up at the sky, like a worldly expert. Applause, he wants applause. Sumu slapped twice, and the Murloc next to him slapped after hearing the sound. Well, since you are so eager to learn, I will tell you the third one, which is the things on this island. The gate of inheritance is the key to obtaining professional authority. Most of the gates of inheritance are common, but most of the gates of inheritance are one-off. In the vast sea of magic, it is difficult to meet a gate of inheritance, but there is a gate of inheritance among these gates of inheritance, which can activate the authority of most professions and has no number of uses. This is the gate of immortal inheritance. After talking for so long, everyone also came to the ruins. There are only a few walls left in the ruins, but between the walls stands a huge gargoyle. In the hand of the gargoyle holds a golden key. Guardian, kill the guardian to get the key, collect all 4 keys and go to the place of inheritance to take the door of inheritance. If you don't have a key, you can activate your professional authority anywhere, but you can't take away the gate of inheritance. Things you want to know have already been obtained, and now you can do what you want to do. The old thing has already become suspicious, it is recommended to do it as soon as possible. Nogginj is a librarian responsible for managing the heritage library of the Murlocs. Also called knowledge elders, they know a lot. But the Murlocs have never liked intellectual races, and it is one of the few special cases. Therefore, as usual, Nogginj only showed off his knowledge with inanimate books. This was the first time he told his tribe about knowledge. Overjoyed, here comes the problem. The Murlocs only like fighting and killing, and all their wisdom is used in fighting and killing. If a book is placed in front of their eyes, they will just swallow it. Nogginj was sweating coldly, his dead fish eyes glanced around. 1, 2, 12. There were still 12 people, and the wise Nogginj realized that this was an invisible person. Well, let me tell you. Nabanji urged the gemstone in his hand, and clouds of water mist rose. He wants to use the water mist to force the invisible people out. Sudden, there was a chill in the air. A long knife drilled out of the air and cut off Nodinji's arm. Su Mu grabbed the severed arm, took out the gemstone on it, and stuffed it into the interspatial ring. Nogginj broke out in cold sweat from the pain, but he was even more horrified in his heart. This person's strength was already comparable to the king of the Murloc clan. The other Murlocs saw that the situation was not good. They all assumed an offensive posture. This friend doesn't know what you want from us. Nogginj forced a smile. Su Mu came out from the invisible state and looked at the Murlocs indifferently. I want to ask if you can be my friend. Sure. The Murlocs in the novice area will never be friends with humans. The Murlocs in the novice area are the test factory for humans from the Magic Sea. Humans and Murlocs can only live one. Seeing that Su Mu's expression was wrong, Nogginj realized that his lie had been exposed, and smiled again on his face. It's just that his smile is more ferocious than Li Gui's. Why don't I tell my friend about the history of this Magic Sea? Nogginj didn't understand the history of the Demon Sea, and his desire to survive made him weave a glorious history. I think back then when the 9 great demon gods gathered together and started a battle that lasted hundreds of millions of years, their blood flowed together to form the current Demon Sea. That's why the Demon Sea is so magical. False, the history of the Demon Sea is only known to the Demon Sea itself, and it is impossible for a small Murloc to know the history of the Demon Sea. He wants to buy time by deceiving you in 3.3, the Murloc King is coming. Nodinji retreated suddenly and came to the edge of the team. My friend, we have no grievances in the past, and we have no hatred in the present. Why don't we all go our separate ways without disturbing each other? Su Mu sneered. Just now, the Murloc named Clate cut off my friend's arm. Nogginj immediately understood that he was here to seek revenge, and cutting someone's arm was really Claret's style. Let's fight. When Nogginj waved his hand, the surrounding Murlocs rushed up, but he turned his head and ran away. Fight. The fight just now has already determined that the enemy is not something he can mess with. Warriors, buy me time to escape, don't be afraid of death. I will report your bravery to the Fish King and bury your corpses in the Temple of Heroes. Let your souls live forever. This battle is different from the past. Many illusory afterimages appeared in Su Mu's eyes, and they made various attacking gestures. The afterimage seen in the eyes is the enemy's next move. Su Mu is overjoyed. The sixth sense has finally evolved again. Your body has become stronger, so the sixth sense can perceive more things. Su Mu slashed out and chopped down a Murloc. Then with a gorgeous turn, Tang Dao sank into the heart of another Murloc. Fire attribute attacks will cause a lot of damage to Murlocs. Bright blade call. The lightsaber is pulled out from the air, and the temperature of the air rises extremely rapidly. The Murlocs panicked and retreated one after another. The Murloc's skin is too dry. You will lose the ability to breathe. Su Mu swung his sword forward, and the remaining Murlocs had no power to resist. There is no difference between a combat power of 20,000 and a combat power of 2,000 in front of Su Mu. Obtain. Beast Core 12. It's a pity that there are no materials for humanoid species. Su Mu took out the elemental hand crossbow and put on the flaming arrows. Borrowing the mysterious connection of Ying Zhang, locate the location of the Murloc Elder. Then the power of the soul condensed and copied the arrow, and shot it out. A scream came, and a figure burning with flames appeared in the distance. The Murloc team is completely wiped out. After a while, Ying Zhang flew over with a beast core in his mouth and a golden key in his claws. Put the key into the space ring. Su Mu looked at the huge gargoyle in the ruins. A pair of blood eyes suddenly opened, and the gargoyle was resurrected. What's the situation? I actually feel the danger. The gargoyle looked around and finally settled on Su Mu. Humans are not the place for you to come. Get out, I can find you and not die. He was counseled, his fear. Su Mu sneered. Your body is trembling, your eyes are a little wandering, are you afraid of me? The gargoyle opened its arms. Lol. The leaves were shaken off by the laughter. It's so funny. I'm 10 meters tall and weigh 8 tons. How could I be afraid of a short guy like you? He is in fear and wants to scare you away. Oh, did you? Do you have small motors in your wings? They walk so fast. With 2 clicks, the bone tips of the wings were inserted into the ground by the gargoyle. Su Mu clearly heard the sound of bone cracking. This is for the sake of life by any means. Well, give me the key, and I won't embarrass you, how about it? The gargoyle shook his head. I can't give it to you, if I give it to me, I will die. Su Mu wasn't playing around, just tapped her foot, and she jumped up, slashing down with the Tang Dao and the lightsaber in her hand. The sound of 2 cutting stones sounded, and the gargoyle turned into 3 broken stones. Obtain. Beast Core 1. Obtain. Essence of Magic Immunity 1. Pick up the second key, because you didn't move forward to the distance. Come to the 3rd ruins, where the guardian is a stone man. It's just that Su Mu came late, the stone man was killed and the key was taken away. It's the Murloc King. Su Mu stepped forward to check, and the stone man's heart was broken. It seems that something has been ripped out. The way of fighting is fist, with weapons such as gauntlets, the strength is powerful, and the combat power will not exceed 80,000. Su Mu rushed towards the 4th altar. The 4th altar is located in the middle of a pool of water. When Su Mu arrived, he saw a Murloc beating up a huge blue python. This python is naked. It seems to be made of a ball of water. System prompt. A strange beast water dragon has been found. Water dragon. Conceived by heaven and earth. When the elements in a place are extremely rich, element life will be born, known as element life. The water dragon used to be a small water element, and later turned into a water dragon. Note: every element is the darling of heaven and earth, and it is not easy to be born. The Murlocs are wearing armor, with metal gloves in their hands, and their fists are fierce and domineering, with the potential to split mountains and land, and stars to fall. If you save the water dragon, you will gain the friendship of elemental life. Su Mu took out the elemental crossbow and shot an arrow at the Murloc. Murlocs have keen senses and strong bodies. Sensing the murderous intent, he dodged the arrow with a flash of his body. Who is sneaking up on this king? Kozli kicked the water dragon into the air with 1 kick, and his whole body was filled with anger, like a puffer fish. Su Mu came out of the woods, holding a tang knife in her left hand and an element meal in her right hand. Are you the Murloc King? The Murloc King opened his arms, posed in a ferocious posture, and roared. Roar. Who? Your grandfather. I am the Murloc King Kozli. Finding the Murloc King Kozli. Combat power, 78,000. Water-type fighters. The fighting power in the water will be increased. The limit fighting power, 90,000. It's still a small boss. But I suggest that your mouth not be so smelly. Kozli laughed, his face full of disdain and ridicule. Your grandfather and I are the overlord of this sea area, with an existence of 90,000 combat power. In this sea area of newcomers, no one is stronger than me at this time. Are you a human? The current human combat power is generally only a few thousand. How can you fight me? Be clear, I can kill you if I let go of my breath. I am arrogant, I am proud, what can you do to me? System prompt. Found the final boss Murloc Kesley in the newcomer area, it is recommended to avoid it. Su Mu narrowed his eyes slightly, his murderous intent soared. The final boss. Kill you, so I can go to a higher resource area. I'm afraid I can't. If you can't, then you can't. Kill him first, so as not to cause trouble to others in the future. The dragon armor is coming. Gorgeous armor covered Su Mu's body like flowing water. The Murloc King Cosley was stunned by the aura far surpassing his own, and quickly made a stop gesture. I just passed by this friend, do you believe it? Su Mu flicked the cloak behind him. A lightsaber was drawn out, like the god of war descending. Murlocs and human races are immortal, you don't know this kind of thing. Cosley narrowed his eyes and roared angrily. Mohai, didn't you say that the news would be announced after 10 days? It's only the evening of the 8th day, how did he know? Cosley froze suddenly, his dead fish stared at Su Mu in disbelief. Mohai accepted his questioning and sent him a message. This person has a god-level 6th sense and can predict the future to a certain extent. Mohai, can you stop being so foolish? Su Mu's body burst out, and in the blink of an eye, he came to Cosley's eyes. The lightsaber in his hand was raised high, shining brightly, and then he cut it down with a sword. The sky and the earth lost their color in this sword light. Discovering anomalies in the space, the enemy uses the space escape method to release the space-breaking Nirvana slash. Su Mu changed temporarily, and the chi and blood in his body gushed out crazily. There was a layer of blood on the lightsaber. Cosley seemed to see a bloody demon swinging a long sword at him. In the next second, the world lost its original color, leaving only black and white. The ultimate warrior, I actually saw the power I've been longing for. With the sword in hand and down, Su Mu exhaled a long breath. There was even traces of blood mist in the turbid air. Burning chi and blood in a special form, unleashing the ultimate blow, only attacking but not defending, is indeed powerful enough. Picked among the pile of wreckage on the ground. Obtain. Beast Core 2. Obtain. Excellent Battle Armor *1 set. Obtain. Excellence Class Gloves 1. Obtain. Heart of the Earth 1. Obtain. Power Card 1. Heart of the Earth. The heart of a stone man, after taking it, moderately improved physical fitness. Faction Card. After using it, you can get an unsinkable island and the authority to form a faction. Su Mu picks up things, and these things are really good. Suddenly the Supreme VIP interface opens automatically. Mahai issued another announcement. Magic C announcement. Player Su Mu beheaded the Murlocs, the Murloc King Cosley, and the Murlocs fell into turmoil. The human massacre that was originally scheduled for 1 day was postponed to 5 days later. Note: the next Murloc King will be born within 5 days. Su Mu shook her head, thinking to herself that it was true. For a race that can deal with 3 billion humans, there must be many strong ones. Killing a Murloc King will not play a key role. Su Mu nodded, feeling that this matter is quite normal. The Murloc King fights monsters by himself, which already shows that he is not a beloved king. The Murlocs advocate force, and the Murloc King is powerful, so you don't need to bring a guard when you travel. Too many soldiers will make the Murloc King unable to let go. What's the situation? The massacre of the Murlocs against the human race. Didn't Demon C make any announcements? Someone who understands immediately reacts. 1 more day, isn't it when natural disasters strike? There will be a level 8 storm. Do these guys want to take advantage of the storm to attack humans? Did Boss Su save the human race this time? What the hell happened? Someone explain. Zhao Chuan looked at the huge island in the distance, pondered for a while, and decided to say something. Together with Boss Su, we killed a monster called a Murloc, which was so cruel that one of my brother's arms was torn off. Boss Su found that there were also Murlocs on the nearby island, so he chased after them, and then the system issued this announcement. This unlucky Murloc King was slaughtered by Mr. Su. Boss Su Saigao, Boss Su is awesome. However, with you together, wouldn't Boss Su fight in the front and you guys call 666 in the back? That's for sure. The combat power of 500 is 200 times worse than the combat power of 100,000. The world was quiet for a moment, and then boiled again. 1,000 and 8,000 combat power. Is Boss Sue taking drugs? The human race has never lacked the heart of gossip, and the catastrophe of life and death was postponed by Su Mu, so human beings are even more curious about Su Mu's combat effectiveness. Probably, it's hung up. The four who knew the situation remained silent. Su Mu lowered his head and searched the body, and soon found a key. Then I looked around and found another key on the island. There are 4 keys. As the sky was getting dark, Su Mu took out a lantern plant to illuminate the surroundings. This lantern plant has undergone long-term cultivation, and it can already illuminate a distance of 50 meters. As soon as she turned around, Su Mu felt something was wrong. A cute little guy is spying on you, wanting to approach but dare not. Su Mu looked towards the water, only to see a small blue head looking at him timidly. This is a miniature water dragon, no more than 1 meter long. You save the water dragon favor +10, keep working hard, you can successfully pick up a water dragon girl. Su Mu pondered for a moment. What can a water dragon do? Water element is an expert in water control, and can create water in the void. Hiss, biological water condenser. Yes, 1 inch. Feeding the beast core of the Murloc king can gain favorability +20. Su Mu took out the beast core dropped by the Murloc just now from her bosom, squatted down, and shook it at the little guy. Do you want? The little guy hesitated for a moment, then timidly crawled over. He took 2 steps closer and retracted, climbed 2 more steps, and retracted 1 step. Just like that, he slowly crawled to Su Mu's hand. The little one seemed terrified. The water dragon also has the aura of a dragon, and you also have the aura of a dragon on your body, and it has suppressed the water dragon. Don't make too much noise, or it will scare it away. Only then did Su Mu see what this guy looked like. The body is smooth and covered with water blue scales. It looks like a dragon, but it has no horns, and there are no fins like the dragon on its back. Instead, there are a pair of small meat wings, which resemble bat wings, but are only the size of a baby's fist. Gives a cute feeling. Eat, Su Mu bewitched. The cutie is very wary, probably because she was beaten up just now. Suddenly, a blue light flashed, and the beast core in Su Mu's hand disappeared. Then the water splashed and the guy ran away. It's up to God's will next. Su Mu nodded and walked towards the distance. It's just a dragon, it's not a real dragon, it's still important. In the water pool, a little cutie exposed its head, raised its head, and swallowed a beast core into its stomach. A pair of pale golden eyes looked at Su Mu's leaving back complicatedly. When Su Mu came to the center of the island, it was completely dark. This is a clearing, and a gate stands on the clearing. It is constructed of bluestone with green markings on it. There are 4 gaps on the door frame, corresponding to the keys of different shapes around. System prompt. Discover the Gate of Immortal Inheritance. The Gate of Immortal Inheritance. It exists permanently. Inserting a career card can activate the corresponding career authority, and there is no limit on the number of times it can be used. The inheritance obtained through this gate will not be attacked by monsters, and will automatically give an enchanted book. Note: rare occupational permissions cannot be activated. Su Mu put the lantern grass on the ground and took out 4 keys. Inlaid into the door frame in turn. Soon, Shimin was covered with a layer of bright light. The stone door became the size of a normal door. Su Mu picked up the door, which was very heavy, and stuffed it into the space ring, and then Qiandidi sensed the surroundings with his 6th sense. It's too quiet, it's abnormally quiet. There is no enemy, and there is no hostility. Su Mu looked around for a guardian beast, but found nothing. What the hell is this? Su Mu scratched his head and tried his best to perceive, but there was still nothing. Nothing is nothing, there is no guardian. Okay, drag. Su Mu returned to the ark with the gate. The road was not quiet, and he was blocked by 3 groups of monsters. They are all very weak monsters, with a combat power of no more than 2,000. It's really at night. What kind of snakes, insects, rats and ants are running outside? Kicking a sea snake away, Su Mu came to the beach where she was separated from the 3 women. However, the scenery ahead made Su Mu's scalp tingle. Under the surface of the sea, pairs of red eyes stared at the beach, and his own whale ark was surrounded by eyes. Can't move, can't move. Ha, the Murlocs are here for revenge. Under the surface of the sea, there are hundreds of Murlocs standing. They are greedy and bloodthirsty. As long as they give an order, they can rush up and tear Sumu to pieces. Sumu stood on the beach and confronted him, while checking the status. Sumu. Blood value. 5,007 thousandths. Soul power. 7,508 thousandths. The blood value recovers quickly, but it has not yet reached a perfect state. Turn on the armor, you can fight for 3 minutes. You bear the blood of the dragon, and your stamina, strength, and speed are very strong. If you fight in short-term group battles, you will suffer, but in long-term wheel battles, you will have an advantage. It is recommended to release the yin and yang ion blades at the beginning of the group battle to clean up the minions. At this time, an old man with an octopus head came ashore. This guy is different from other Murlocs. White hair, wearing a top hat, wearing a black robe, holding a cane. Kind of like the nobles of the empire on which the sun never sets. Hello, I am the head of the meteor pirates, you can call me the high priest. Are you here to rob? The high priest shook his head and said calmly. I want to make a deal with you, a deal you must make. Naked bandit style, likes elegance, pretends to be fanciful. 883. The transaction refers to exchanging the ark and the 3 people on the ark for the gate of immortal inheritance. Don't be afraid, they can't penetrate the shell of the ark, and they can't beat you. Sumu shook his head and sneered. A robber is a robber, what kind of elegance are you doing? You seized my ark and 3 friends just to get the gate of inheritance, didn't you? The high priest was silent, because he gave Suyun a deep look. Hehe, mind reading, it's interesting, but Cao Nian, you have to know that the human heart is the most difficult thing to guess. While speaking, the high priest took out a pair of gold-rimmed glasses from his pocket. Epic level special props, combat power detector, can see everything about you, occupation, combat power, and even the weapons you own. Just now you fought with the Fish King, and you used up a lot. After I see through your reality, guess, can you remain calm in front of me? A high priest with a combat power of 70,000, good at water magic, low attack power, good at binding art. I can't beat the Murloc King, he wants to scare you now and let you follow, but the props are real, I suggest grabbing them. The high priest, with a combat power of 70,000, is good at water-type binding magic, and his attack power is not high. You can't beat the Murloc King, and you can't beat me, am I right? Every time Sumu said a word, the high priest's face turned pale, and he put on his glasses angrily. I want to see what you are capable of. If not, I will cut you into squid slices. Combat power. 108,000. Occupation. Perfect warrior, magician. Weapon. Epic elemental crossbow. God, talent, can't you see it? The high priest was silent for a while, and he felt like turning his head and running away. This is a monster that shouldn't appear in Novice Village. Good opportunity, rush forward. Sumu stepped lightly, and stepped forward like a ghost. When the high priest reacted, a tang saber was already on his neck. I guess that's what you're thinking. Sumu playfully snatched the glasses from the high priest's eyes and threw them into the interspatial ring. Obtain. Combat power detector. You think that I must have gone through a fierce battle when I killed the Murloc King, and I lost combat power, so I want to pick peaches. Your own fighting power is not bad, and you have a combat power detector in your hand. This thing has given you the upper hand in many fights. For this reason, you also gathered a large number of loyal men to surround my ark, trying to blackmail me. Sumu looked at the high priest coldly. I don't know if you have considered 2 things. 1. You can't break the shell of the ark. 2. My combat power is not what the novice zone can have. The high priest shook his body. The feeling of being exposed was all too familiar, but before, he was the one who exposed others, but now it's reversed. Winner and loser, you won't feel good if you kill me. There are hundreds of brothers behind me. With only Suemu's strength, the blade cut a BBAI, small opening on the high priest's neck, and blue blood flowed out. Stop talking about this, do you dare to let them come up? As long as you dare, I can destroy a group of people with 1 skill. You know, the strongest of your brothers has a fighting power of only 20,000, and the rest are worth 18,000. I can take a piece of it in seconds. Quote. The high priest was sullen, careless, too careless. This young man has only been here for 8 days, but he has done something that many people can't do in a lifetime. 108,000 combat power cannot be obtained by just learning skills. You also need a strong physical fitness. You're welcome. This person can cut down all the Murlocs except him with his body. Big brother, I robbed everything you saw, can you let me go? The high priest was discouraged. As an octopus spirit, the thing he knows best is to fight, and only if he can hold on can he survive. Su Mu hesitated for a moment. The sixth sense was fully activated, and 2 lines of blood and tears flowed out. Kill, you can harvest a batch of epic materials. If you don't kill him, this guy will go back and fight for the throne with other Murlocs, turning the Murlocs upside down and greatly weakening the Murlocs' strength. Su Mu pondered for a while, and decided to let him go. He is not cold-blooded. If the Murlocs hunted the humans, they would definitely cause casualties. And it is unrealistic for him to go to the sea and kill all the Murlocs alone. Unwilling to let it go, open the manufacturing interface. Epic level medicine field. The medicinal materials grown in this medicine field double the efficacy and grow 5 times faster. Production requirements. Epic Dragon Blood Wood 10, Epic Snow Mountain Soil 8, Survival Jade 1. If you want to leave, you can leave after paying the money. Su Mu smiled slightly and looked at the high priest, who felt a chill down his back. 10 pieces of Dragon Blood Wood, 8 pieces of Snow Mountain Soil, and 1 piece of Survival Jade. When the high priest heard this, his face flushed with anger. These are all treasures, where can I get them? He's so excited, it proves he looks. Ha ha. Su Mu retracted the tang knife and jumped back. The high priest was taken aback. Su Mu opened her arms, 1 yin, 1 yang, 1 black and 1 white. 2 fist-sized energy balls emerged. The power to destroy everything began to spread. The yin and yang ion blades are artifacts of group warfare. And many more. Without perception, the high priest understood this power. I give. Gritting his teeth, the high priest took out a space device, took out wood, soil, and the only piece of survival jade. My heart is bleeding. This young man didn't talk about wood, but he actually bullied an 80-year-old man. Other materials are fine, survival jade is really too expensive. Obtain. Survival jade, which can improve the growth qualification of medicinal herbs, and the effect of using it with the medicinal field is better. Survival jade. It is rumored that there was a princess whose kingdom was destroyed and she had no choice but to flee. After going through untold hardships, this piece of ancient jade was used as various tools during this period, and it was contaminated with the princess's breath of survival, so it was named Survival Jade. Su Mu dissipated her skills and put away her materials. You can go now. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.